Let me just roll this up, roller, and put it in my lumbar region. The back's almost fully healed now, but a little bit of, it keeps my pelvis correctly aligned, which is good for fucking. And that's the kind of mood I'm in. Are you? Oi, listen, I'll wait for a few more to turn up, actually. The oi polloi always in nice and early. Let's get some names in before those numbers rocket, before we're up into the thousands. Rags, hello, mate. Barney's in on time. Hello, Barn. Hello, Jessica. Always a pleasure. Steve's on the phone. Pax, Max, Emma G. Emma G made a funny joke. I can't remember what it was, but it tickled me no less. Mark's here. I mean, a lot of you would have just watched a video that I uploaded. I actually made that video this morning, but I've had no internet nearly all day. Hence, no clips and memes. I might do a bit of say and search. I might do a bit of calling. It's this or nothing at the moment, people, because the computer and or sometimes because if the internet and computer, it's back to basics. But I think we had a fascinating stream the other day. I watched it back, one where it got quite heavy, really. And, there's absolutely a place for that. Oh, man, I've just unwound it. I've unwound it in the wrong direction. Or the right direction if you wanted to unwind it. Hang on, let me just stick that. Yep, there you go. I don't even think I finished telling that story the other day when I was watching the bloke in the hospital bed opposite me getting morphine. I need more, it hasn't worked. And they gave him more. And I remember saying to the doctor, so what have I got? He went, lumbago. I went, oh no, what is that? Like a disease? He went, no, lower back pain. I said, yeah, but what exactly is lumbago? He went, lower back pain. I said, yeah, but what I mean is it like a trapped nerve? Is it like, have I torn something? Is it a muscle problem? He went, no, it's lumbago. I went, right, and what exactly defines lumbago? And he went, lower back pain. I went, yeah, go on, fuck off. 6 years at medical school. Do you know what? When I had lower back pain before I came in the hospital, guess what I would have diagnosed myself with? Go on, have a wild guess, doctor. Lower back pain? Yeah, but you've got a name for it. Let's see what the etymology of lumbago is. Let's have a look, see where this stuff comes from. Comes from lumbus. Who doesn't like lumbus? Which is Latin for loin. Oh my God, I've got loins. There's got to be a bit more to it than just that. Oh, it peaked at the 1900s, lumbago. Took a proper dive at about 1950. I suppose they had things like rationing to worry about and Labour governments on their way. Where did the word lumbago come from? Here we go, people. Get in early, learn. It's the educational part of this largely linguistic stream. Well, televisual and audio, sounds and images and words and pictures and les mots et les choses. The noun is borrowed. I mean, in itself, an interesting linguistic little flourish there. Borrowed. From the Latin. I mean, who by? What, the English? How do you do that? I don't mean to be pedantic. I don't mean to be I don't like to be a minutiae magnet. I really do, especially now I've named it. But the noun is borrowed by the English language as an agency, what would the word be? As an agency. And it sort of went down to the language shop and went, all right there. And the language shop went, see, yeah. And they went, yeah, we've got lower back pain. There's a lot of it about, but lower back pain, it's a bit of a mouthful, doesn't make us sound like doctors, does it? That makes us appear quite pedestrian, makes us appear GP, general public, not general practitioner. I've got the white coat, I've got the name badge, I've got the scripts, but what I haven't got is something better than low back pain. So they scratched their heads and they went, well, there is the Latin lumbago, which means backache of the lumbar region. It's from the late. This is what the man working at the language shop told him. He said it's from late Latin lumbus, which is from lumbus loin. Ultimately, it was from the Proto-Indo-European lend plus loins plus a go. So it's essentially lend loins a go. Lend loins a go. And he went, to be honest with you, lend loins a go is much like lower backache. And he said, can we just use lumbago? He went, you certainly can. He went, how much? He said, well, you're English. You know, I think next to Spanish, you're up there is one of the most widely spoken languages. And, you know, I can't see that being reversed. I think English is probably going to take over. It's certainly the business language of the world. We want $67 billion with an annual top up of $6 billion. And the English language was like, can I just borrow it? And the man in the shop said, yeah, come to think of it, with words, it's not with words, you can borrow it and I've still got it, so I can sell it to someone else, you know. So it was borrowed from Latin. Come on, you bastards. Here's the grift. Entropy's up there. Super chat's down there. You might have noticed, because the grift has been going peculiarly well in these times of strife, you might have noticed a couple of videos got knocked out. You might have noticed a couple of 2-3 hour streams. I'm not, you know, cracking videos though. Smurfweight, just dig. But I will be putting out more videos. I forget how much people like them, because for me, it's just me laughing at people. But it's nice to laugh at people, all of us. I will dig out some more. But Rags and Kevin have backed me up with so many clips and memes that we will have. What day are we on today? Thursday? I did say Thursday then, because it kind of is for me. I'm 20 minutes away from Friday. I might even do it tomorrow. I might do the tomorrow night super ultra mega clips and memes stream and just have a ton of them. Can you cope with that? You need to get your clipboards. Oh, that didn't work. That's been borrowed from another language. You need to get your clip and meme boards, like a surfboard. Because when this wave of clips and memes comes at you, you're going to need something to just, you know. You surfing the internet, Jeremy. Right. So anyway, lumbago, derived from the noun. Let's see who else is in here. Fill a little bit more time while I'm thinking what the frick I'm going to talk about. There's always words. Oh, I've got a bit of controversy, a bit of local, a bit of personal, a bit of friendship controversy. I've had a little falling out. I'll tell you about that in a minute, because I'd like to know what you think. I've just got to check something. Let me check this. Hang on. I don't really want to. Hang on. I really don't want to type this into my computer. I just want to make sure I got it right. How do you? I'm gonna. Hey, that's it. I mean, I'm glad I don't know it. Vart, very, very quiet Vart there. Nice one, Angly. I saw you watching the video. We had a little tete-a-toot. Thank you, Anglo. Prasha Cookie. There you go. Right, I did get it right. I just spelled it wrong. So while Anglo's there, I'll tell you. So I put out a video laughing at Smurfweight and his husband today when they were on Come Dine With Me. And at the end of the video, there's an attractive lady doing a sensual dance. And I noticed, as I predicted, a couple of people in the chat going, fucking hell, she's a bit young, isn't she? Now, She's not actually. She's a very well-known model, and she's about 24. So that's why, Asian women look very young. They tend to, they just do. I mean, like, my missus looks about 16 and she's only 12. Right, now, I said that joke then deliberately. It should have been the other way around. I should have said my missus looks about 12, but she's only 16. So, this is what happened in a little private chat, right? I've got a little group of friends from back in the day, right? And we've all got individual chats. It's quite funny as well because there's definitely little cliques that discuss what go on in the main board. And someone said, I don't know about you putting, and the words he used was sexy children at the end of your video. Now, we are a little bit edgy in this chat because it's just private chat. And I got back to him and I said, I don't know about the term sexy children. He said, you know what I mean? He said, she looks about 14 or something. And that's when I made the joke. I said, a lot of Asian women do look a lot younger. Like my missus looks about 12, but she's only 14, right? Got a few laughs. But this one bloke, who I've known for 20 odd years, 30 years, he went, I don't know about all this. And I went, oh, what? And this was the same bloke who described sexy children. I went, oh, what? He said all this, blah, blah, blah. And then I said, go on, what have you got a problem with? And he said, well, this blatant paedophilia, right? And I said, well, for a start, you got it round your neck because it's actually what you're actually not. Your problem is actually of hebephilia. Hebephilia. You hear this all the time, and I think you need to get this right because it's a fucking sensitive subject. Hebephilia is a sexual interest in post-pubescent children. Paedophilia is a sexual interest in prepubescent children. So I said, well, I think you'll find it's actually hebephilia. And I said, but it ain't even that. I said, it's a joke. There you go. Look, Mark. It's a joke. Now, these people are on the right. All of us in that little group. They're all right. Some of them are just conservative. Some of them are on the right of me, right out there, blah, blah, blah. But then none of them are commies. None of them are centards. None of them are leftards. And I said, it's just a joke. He said, yeah, but he said it's a joke at the expense of children who've been abused. So I went in with the big one and I went, oh, what, like me? It's great. That card's great. Just play the abuse card. I went, no problem. And I said, so what you're saying is we need to censor. You want censorship in here. And I couldn't believe it for someone on the right. He said it. He said, I think with jokes you need to draw a line somewhere. And I said, no. I said, no, what you do with jokes is question where that line has been previously. That's why jokes from the 1920s, when you just got on stage and said, knickers, everyone went, he said my aunt is bloomers. That's why that's not that amusing these days. That's why when what was it? I think it was Louis C.K. It might have even been Frankie Boyle. It was either Louis C.K. or pre-social justice Frankie Boyle was talking about. That's right. Frankie Boyle said that. What's his name? Pinball Wizard, not Roger Daltrey. The actual. Elton John and his Bondre boyfriend, they adopted some baby. And I think it was Frankie Boyle he said that must be like, if you got that much money, he said that must be the caviar of paedophilia or something like that. Not a particularly funny joke, but in context, it was hilarious. I absolutely agree with you, Mark. Fuck knows what happened. Some kind of peculiar midlife breakdown. Maybe he spunked all his money thinking I'll be fine, I'm funny. And then the culture changed around him, and rather than fight it, thought, well, I'm going to be skint, or I'm going to have to be terrible. There you go. That's it, Alphabet Cat. He said the adopted child of Furnish and Elton John must be the caviar of paedophilia. Something like that. And then Louis C.K. was saying about paedophilia, and he was saying, you know, that's the worst thing in the world to be, you know, homeless is quite shameful. Drug addict is quite shameful. Murderer is quite shameful. There's a lot of shameful. Rapist is fucking shameful. There's a lot of really shameful things to be. And yet, you know, murderers even have turned their lives around. And some murderers have had movies made about them where people are like, well, you know, yeah, he made a mistake, he fucked up, but, you know, he's done the best he could. You know, blah, 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 this person who done that. But there's no coming back from paedophilia. You don't, that doesn't ever get erased, and rightly so. This is Louis C.K. saying all this, and he said, you know, if you go to prison for it, it's in most American federal prisons, it's KOS, it's kill on sight. And when you go to prison, the other prisoners, first thing, the landing boss shows your paperwork, because they want to know if you're in there for ABH, DUI, paedophilia. And if your paperwork says, oh yeah, he diddled kids, you're dead. You're dead. And if you're not dead, you're going to get stabbed and shivved within an inch of your life. You're going to go to hospital. When you come back, it's going to happen again, and that's the rest of your life. You know, it's over. And so Louis C.K. builds all this up, and then he says, it's got to be a pretty good feeling, isn't it? It's so dark. He says, you know, they must love it. He says, to risk all that. I was sexually abused as a kid. There's my card. Fuck you. I can say what I want about it. But yeah. So I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that in a it's not a political group. It's just old mates. And it's not daily either. It's just like, how you getting on, son, and all that. But yeah, he actually wanted censorship. He said, you have to draw the line with jokes, and you don't have to draw the line. And interestingly, it's almost iconoclasm. You know, the fact that jokes about paedophilia work is a measure of a healthy society, because the fact that they are so edge, the fact that they are so oi, that tells you a lot about the society they come from. Because if you could just toss them jokes out and everyone would be like, yeah, all right, that would mean, you know, it's not an issue. No one cares. You know, you used to make jokes. You could make jokes about things that don't matter anymore, and they won't cut it because people don't care about those things anymore. Like, you know, people smoking weed, for instance, in the sort of early mid 60s and late 60s, you'd get comedians making jokes about stoners. You know, Robert Crumb made a living, made his cartoons, and you know, all that sort of taking the piss out of stoners, but that stuff's not funny anymore because weed has become part of our culture, and it's like, oh, weed. But the fact that jokes about paedophilia are still funny, that's what proves that's the measure of the health of our society, in as much as we don't accept that behaviour, and rightly so. So yeah, that all just happened about 5 minutes before I come on here, and I thought, fuck, you know, this is what a strange, and quite kind of sad to hear it from someone who's supposedly on the right. I remember doing a gig once, and I just got up on stage, and I was doing a bit of material about. I was telling that story about the girl who liked me to whip her. Remember that one? It's in my Substack. Yeah, link in the description to my Substack. Sign up. I'll never monetize it. I started going into that bit of material, but you know, banter, improvising around it, and she literally, proper fucking feminist. She had the look, you know. She went, and I went, oh, I went, I said, I've only said a few words and you've already had enough. Not aggressive. I just went, what? Why are you tutting for? She said, oh, can you just tell some jokes about something that isn't about sex? And I went, no. I said, no, I can't. And I was already getting a laugh. So I said, and I will especially not now. In fact, I'm only going to tell jokes about sex now. I said, what's the problem with jokes about sex? She says, well, I've heard enough of them. I said, I'll tell you what, well, in fairness, I said, has everyone here had enough of jokes about sex? And they've all just gone, no. I said, and there, my darling, is the problem. So keep your mouth shut, sweet tits, and let the adults enjoy it. Oh, she was gone. I hate stand-up. I'll tell you what, one of the things about stand-up that isn't quite realised is the tension. You've got 5 minutes. If you're doing a 40-minute set, if it's like your set, like, you know, rather than just a spot, there's a spot and a set, basically, or a set of spots. You usually get around here if you don't wash your pillows. But if you're doing a spot, it don't matter. You know, if it starts going bad, you're like, I'm off here in 5 minutes. I'll be hello Nyanthos, hello James, hello Lee, hello Rags, hello Steve, hello Vespercheck. If it starts going wrong, you think 5 minutes and I'm out. But if you're doing a set, if your name's on the flyer and a picture of you and it's got all your 5-star reviews and all the quotes and it ain't going well, it's dark. And especially with the kind of material I've done, you know, people get pissed off about it. They get upset. They get angry. I was asked to do this night, right? And the bloke said to me, he said, look, it's not actually a comedy night. He said, but I think you're going to fit in great. And I was like, no. I said, and it was at the stage in my career where I could do nights where it was just me. Chris Dangerfield, I'd usually get a support in to help a younger comic, you know, help him a little bit, help me as well, warm the audience up a bit. But I was like, nah, and he was like, I'll do you a oneer. So 100 quid. I said, how long? He went, 20 minutes. I said, 150. He went, yeah, all right. So I take a couple of mates. I take an ex-girlfriend, lovely girl, Charlotte, and her friend Simon, who's the best writer I know, who's never written anything. He's got such a good brain and such a great understanding of literature and storytelling, but doesn't do it. He talks a good book. He talks a good story, but has never written anything. You know, and I'll have lunch with him. Well, not much so anymore because I live out here. But it'll be like, for people who don't know, and I've got to keep this rolled up from a lumber. We borrowed that from the Latins, you know. I went and had tea with him once, and I said, how's the writing going? And I always say it to him thinking, you know, the writing that don't exist. He said, it's mainly stage plays at the moment. He still hasn't written a stage play. But anyway, I took, you know, what is that? What have I eaten that's sticking me together? I've taken him and this ex-girlfriend of mine, a lovely girl, I still get on with her. She's a bird who's doing a PhD in creative writing. Yeah, you can't learn how to write. But I think she's a good writer. And the three of us were there. It was an LGBT night. Like the act, when we sat down, the first act was like a trans person, but more like not just a trans person, what they call a drag queen. But like, I don't know enough about the culture to know, but it was like, you know, like you get the clowns with the tears and that. It was like the sad drag queen, the sad queen, sad drag queen. Like mascara all run, lipstick sort of down the neck where she's sort of, too many quaaludes or something. And she was just on stage, like with these like tablets, big bottles of tablets. And she was going 20 exprafavazam a day, 5 chuckasamuzis a day, 4 benzocinapas a day. Just going through all the pills she has to take to remain drugged up to believe that she's actually a woman. And it was a performance. It was an LGBT performance art night. So me, Simon, and this ex-bird Charlotte, we're looking at it, and I am now shitting myself. I'm shitting myself. Hello, Tiger. LIR. It was much like Lily Savage, funnily enough. Now, I'm sitting there thinking, this is, I need that 150 squids, but what the fuck am I going to do? And I was trying to think of a story that wasn't to do with any material that I've got. I was trying to make something up that wasn't the sort of thing I tell. And just as I was thinking that, I looked, there was a little crew just to the right as you look at the stage, proper sort of romper stomper lesbians, mohawks, Harrington jackets, Fred Perry's, Oxblood DMs, that weird lesbian sort of look. It's an odd one, and there was a gang of about 8 of them. Now, there's a reason I say romper stomper, because Simon leant over to me. He could tell I was shitting it, and I was fucking terrified. Not because I thought anyone was going to beat me up or anything. I always carried a weapon. Not even joking. Used to take a weapon on stage. Not anything, not a firearm. In Minecraft this is, but something that would help me out if need be. And he leant over and he went, "Oi, Chris," he went, "do you reckon that bunch of romper stomper lesbians are going to enjoy your blue jokes?" Blue jokes. And when he kind of, reduced my, by that point, 7-year comedy career to blue jokes, I felt like just some 1970s get on stage. You know what I mean? All right, people. Oh, my wife, you know what? Talk about lady garden. It's more like a fucking lady front garden. You know what? Everyone's fucking pissed in it, and I was just like, what am I going to do? Yeah, needless to say, it was a nightmare, and it's an awful feeling. It's an awful feeling. And the worst bit is the way you have to do it. Sir Grego nails it. Dangerfield had a brass gum shield. This is quite hard to explain because I am stupid, but you have to call it. If it's going bad, you have to call it. There's no point just trying to plow through. I mean, I've done that. See, what you can't, it's like people who do comedy classes. You can't teach someone to be a comedian. You can't. You just can't. What you can teach them is stagecraft. What you can teach them is things that, weirdly, they're only going to learn through experience only. They're only going to learn through experience anyway. But that stagecraft, if it's going downhill, if you aren't winning, you need to call it. You don't just keep going, because why? That's like you've just got the tape on automatic. Why would you do that? It's live. That's the beauty of live comedy. Now, when you call it, you have to call it with balls. You can't sort of go, unless it's your character. But I wasn't a character comic. I was just me. Because I'm lazy. I never wrote anything down. Even my hour-long Edinburgh shows, I just thought, I'll just tell those stories. That's because it happened. So that'll be all right. So, you have to sort of go, you have to address it. It's an elephant in the room otherwise. I tell you what, I went to one gig and it was an open mic gig, and it was in my early days of a comic, like first or second year, and I was the headline. And that's the first step up. You headline open mic nights, and they give you like 15 quid. And they do it because you'll get a few people come to watch you. And then the open mic comics, some of which it's their first ever gig, they've got an audience to play to apart from just the bar staff and the other comics. And there was a few of us sitting in the audience watching this bloke, right? And he went on, and he was terrible. And most of us are when they were terrible. Most of us are terrible when we're first a comic, because you need experience at it. It's not like playing a guitar that you can get brilliant in your bedroom, and once you're brilliant, you go onto the internet and go, check me out. No, you learn it by doing it in front of people, and you only learn from your mistakes. When you have a good gig, you don't learn anything, because you like and it's quite a weird feeling having a good gig, because everyone's like, yeah, more, yeah. And the promoter's like, mate, you've got to come back. When can you come back? Can we book you now? And like, you're sort of like, yeah. And when you're sort of walking home, because I stopped doing gigs outside of Zone 1 because I was lazy. I was smacked up. How far? Hang on, mate. That's 4 minutes on a tube. Who do you think I am? But if I could walk to it, I'd do it. And what was I telling you about that for? Oh, anyway, there was this bloke on stage, and he was having a nightmare. First thing he said was, "Oh, that's right. I'd invited a load of people down who I'd been in rehab with, and these were sort of like people who'd done long prison stretches, men and women." People who'd like been inside for some heinous crimes, like cutting people to pieces and all sorts of things. Crack addicts, smack addicts, but all cleaned up now. So we had a reunion. I said, well, look, I'm doing a gig. I'm headlining a gig at the Queen's Arms just off Piccadilly. But just off Piccadilly. I said, why don't you get yourself down there? Nice one, Scorry, for the grease that keeps the stream sliding. It certainly does, Scorus, a prosciutto. Ango, did I actually thank you for your one as well? Nice one. Sorry, Steve, that you got to go, mate. That's a shame, son. We will get on to a bit of calling action, I'm sure. And so you've got all these hardened drug addicts, ex-drug, ex-cons sitting in the front row. And this bloke got up, he was about 23, and he went, I had to go and see my weed dealer. And they all started laughing because no one's got a weed dealer. No one over the age of 14 has a weed dealer. Don't you just get weed off your mate? That's how it works, isn't it? No one's got numbers. No one rings round and goes, oh, fucking hell, anyone holding? It's not like that, is it? All right, hello, mate, you want to pop over? Yeah, bring a quarter over for us. No, sweet. No, and it was weird. And it was like, hang on, he's making this up. What a weird angle. And of course, he didn't know he had like 7 or 8, died in the wood drug addict jailbirds in front of him. He went, you know what it's like when you ring your weed dealer, and they've all gone, and everyone's looking at each other, and I was like, oh, poor kid. And he went, and it's all, he goes, why is it always in a multi-story car park or up an alley? And we're all thinking, no, round your house with a cup of tea in it. Anyway, it wasn't going well. He was hitting no beats. He was trying to be a raconteur, but you still need beats. You can't just whistle on like I do. And Vart and Vart and Vart. And then once he realised that it was really panning, really just falling to pieces, he called it like you should, rather than just stay up there. And it feels like hell. I'm telling you, I've had plenty of bad gigs. Every comic has bad gigs. When you see, Louis C.K., Chris Rock, or whoever, you only ever see their best gigs. When you see a special, Doug Stanhope special, Louis C.K. special, Jimmy Carr special, well, that will usually be made up out of about 10 gigs. They wear the same clothes. Yeah, no shit. They'll shoot 10 gigs and they'll chop them all up and make one special. Not always, but, well, certainly not always with the likes of Stanhope, because he's a different breed, like probably the best comedian of the late 20th century, and the early 21st. But that's the usual way of doing it, because some nights bits are going to get better laughs and all that, and you're going to perform better. So you just stick it all together. But when you're live, you've got to call it. And this geezer called it, and this is what he said. He sort of almost looked like he was going to start crying. He put his head in his hands, and he went, look. He went, it's not my fault that I'm stoned. Now, here's where it gets painful. I'll just read Mr. African. Plastic African said, almost like that ice cream van sound, but faster and much lower. Keep based and braved. Hoita. What is almost like the ice cream van sound, but faster and much lower? Was it my Vart? I don't know. Nice one, Plastic Africaku. So he's gone. It's not my fault. It's not my fault I'm stoned. And this girl, Amy, who just come out of an 8 stretch in a women's prison, she went, whose fucking fault is it then? Because unless you were held down, mate, and, you know, someone knelt, Vartan, we are the Vartans, my friend. I pulled that out of the bag. Sorry, it's not my fault I'm stoned. Unless someone sat you down and knelt on your lungs whilst pushing a blunt up your nostrils, it is your fault. So anyway, you fell apart. So at this Romper Stomper gig, I had to call it. And I just went, look, let's be honest. When I was asked to come here, I didn't know it was just going to be full of sexual deviants and freaks. I cracked up. And weirdly, so did a few of them. And this is where your stagecraft comes in. And I went, sweet. I went onside. I went, you're onside. I went, that worked, didn't it? I went, right, we got 3. I said, it's you and me, right? I said, you good with that? And they were like, yep, we're good. I said, right, so we'll move on to the next one. And I told that one from the 7 Spastics. I said, a true friend is a bloke that leaves the party to get a screwdriver so he can open the toilet door from the outside to just maybe draw my attention to the fact that the woman's legs I'm in between has got Down syndrome. And a couple of blokes over here laughed. Blokes. I went, there you go, 5. It's 5. I said, 5 include me, 6. Can I hear more? And the bloke at the end put his hand up, and then I started doing it like an auction. I was going, I got 3. It's 2. 3, 4, 5, 6 plus me is 7. Any more on 7? Any more on 8? And then there was this massive bloke. I went, you count for 3. I went, give us a laugh, Slim. And, that's your stagecraft. And I've got nothing else to say about stagecraft. But it did remind me of... listen, here's a weird one. I'm just telling you this for the weirdness. Thank you, Plastic. I think I've missed one by IJB. Where's IJB? Maybe that was We Are the Vartmans, my friend. There you go. Boom. Nice one, mate. How did it end with the LGBT crowd? Well, I won them over. I absolutely won them over. The weird thing was I knew how I could win them over, and I told them a story that it's in my novel when I pretended to be a gay gigolo because I thought they'd understand that. I pretended that I was going to have sex with this old man for money. And, you'll have to wait for the novel for that one because I don't want to spoil that one. So I just suddenly thought, you've got to get round something that they didn't want to hear my heterosexual wanderings because they hear that all the time, and that's a fair point. I just wish I was told that before I went there because really that's all I've got. But, the fake gay prostitute story is quite a corker. Nice one, IJB. But here's a really weird... I mean, the psychology of it's just weird. Me and Trevor Locke, we done a tour of people... I like driving in my Vart. Nice one, Rags. Have it, you beautiful bastards. Bastards. Sorry, Rags. Put that into your mouth. Steady. Cheers, Rags. No, you can. You have to. I was doing a set, and you have to pull it out the bag. Little Red's on the alert. Nice to see you, Little Red. Nice to see you, Scorry. Chris LC53. Free client. You knew on the firm you'd get torn up in there. Well, because I made myself the victim of my story, they quite appreciated it in the end. and I told them the hello Arklow, and I told them the story about the I think I told you I used to take the NA meeting in Frith Street, and I used to get people to share, and there was a bloke next to me, and I'd never heard his story. So I said, so today I've asked Philip to come along and share his experience, strength, and hope. Philip. And he was like, hello, I'm Philip, I'm an addict. And they went, hello, Philip. He went, I mean, I didn't discover drugs until I was 54. And he went, 1 year later, I woke up on my landing with a rolling pin shoved up my ass and slag written on my forehead in lipstick. And I've gone, it's like 10 o'clock on a Thursday morning. I woke up on my landing with a rolling pin up my ass and slag written on my forehead in lipstick. And if you'd have seen him, you'd have known why that was. I just, and then of course I'm just glowing red, and I'm looking at, they used to get about 80, 90 people. That's the big Soho meeting. And I was the secretary down the front, and everyone's looking at you, and they all knew there's more entertainment looking at Dangerfield trying to keep this together than this. And his stories went from bad to worse, man. Absolute horrendous stuff happened to him. And the thing is, I deal with a lot of my emotions with laughter, but not, you shouldn't really in that situation. And of course, when he's finished his share, when he's finished talking, and I'm like, yeah, maybe wrap it up a bit now. Don't hit me with any more bombshells. Then you've got to engage with it. And so you're sort of like, yeah, I had a lot of identification with you there. You're in the right place, son. Well done. And what I usually do, and everyone, I got a round of applause for it because it's a well-known blag in NA. What I done was, after saying, well, you're in the right place, I said, it's a big meeting, so I'll open it up to the floor. And everyone was like, yeah, okay, yeah. Knowing full well I just couldn't talk. I could not look this bloke in the eyes after the things he just told me. Every single bit of drug use he got involved in, he got splayed, is the word that comes to mind. Splayed. Arklow Rock says, Dangerfield, true fact, Darren Malakian, the guitarist of System of a Down, his father's name is Vartan. Vartan Malakian. I might have to see if I can get him on and not tell him why. And then every time, that ain't going to happen, is it? Good call, though. Nice one for that. Nigel, are you literally shooting up as we speak? What are you using, Nigel? Did I say Martin? Oh, excuse me. Oh, free client, live next to Pinner. I've pinned it, haven't I, already? Pinner. It hasn't started. I'll tell you what. I'm going to... Hang on. Vod fever, you don't have to do it. Ooh, Vod fever, you don't have to know it. I'll tell you what, I look a bit like that BG, but I've been filling out a bit in the face as I've got a bit younger. So thankfully, I don't look so much like him at the moment, which is why I don't mind going, Vod fever, you don't have to do it. Oh, it's one of System of a Down. I don't really know about that young people's music. Frenchie's dropped a 10-bit into Entropy. Thank you very much, French one. Let me just close some of these. That's a god-awful noise, isn't it? Isn't it weird how horrible that is compared with the Vart? Vart fever, you don't have to show it. Right, well, I'm going to open it up to the floor. Let's get to see what some scrubs have got to say. Let's have a look at Frenchies, though, because Entropies get their moment of glory, too. Nice one, French one. Always a price of cuckoo. We've all been there. We certainly have. The old rolling pin and lipstick slag. Rag says System of a Down is 20 years old, Chris. Yeah, but I would have been 30 by then. Rags, I wasn't listening to pop music when I was 30. I was listening to the sound of despair, aka spiritualized. All right. Right, here we go. Fucking hell. Ching Chong China, man. Are you allowed to say that anymore? I don't know. Right, here we go. You ready to come on, Dennis? You've been promising it for years. The Windows noises are all terrible, including Enos. That's actually PaintShop Pro Volume 8. Very good. Yeah, well, probably. I don't think so. I think it's more sort of like grunge light. I have heard of them, of course. Not for me, though. The only song I like of that genre is Blink 182's I Miss You. I quite like it when he goes, how are you? And I'm so sorry. I like that sort of Americana. Modern Americana. Post-modern Americana, should I say. Hello, Lumi. How are you? Oi, Lumi, we've got to get on that fucking writer's office hours because I don't know if you saw it on Substack, but they showed you all the graphs and people are absolutely building their audiences like nobody's lark on that. Oi, anyone here new? I've got a Substack link in the description. It says Substack. There's 16 short stories on there and they're absolutely cracking. Go and watch them. Go and read them after this stream or tomorrow or something. Because when I put all them together and put it on Amazon as a book, I'll delete it. So when I say I'll never monetize it, it's always been a lie. I will. It just won't be called Substack. Right. Okay. That it isn't actually 42. It was, but Substack you can now do podcasts, videos. You know, I think that beast, because there's virtually no censorship, unless it's illegal, they'll let you have it. He even went on CNN and said, no, I think it's important that people say things that are wrong. He said, especially important if they're wrong. They don't have to keep advertisers happy, and so the beast of Substack has just exploded. And so now you can host videos and all sorts of things on there. It's quite the platform. I'm thinking of maybe doing like it's a time element, but maybe once every 2 months do like a little writer's workshop. Anyone who's into my type of writing or who wants to maybe do some writing, autobiographical fiction, as I like to call it, to keep me out of court, I'll do a live discussion about how I work and how I write. You know, that might be quite an interesting thing for other writers, or maybe readers as well. Who knows? Because I do have a process. It's taken me 30 odd years to get there, but I feel like I've found my writer's voice. And yeah, did I mention that Will Self said that he seeks to what was the word he used? I've told you enough times. You should know by now. I still haven't replied to him. I'm too scared. I don't want him to take it back. All right, Plastic African, let's get you on then, son. You can have first dabs. Here we go. It's in the chat, but be prepared, people. There are technical difficulties, and also let me get these sorted out. Plastic. All right, Cole. It was part of the joke, though. Hang on, let me just press the necessary buttons. Hang on, mate. I can see you there, but I need to do some things.
Yeah, no worries, man. Can you hear me all right?
Oh, I can hear you, but in mono.
In mono. What am I supposed to be? Fucking surround sound? Hey, surround sound plastic. Hello.
I wonder if that's my fault or yours.
I don't know. My mind. Oh, how's it going, man?
Hang on, I just want to check something out. Let me just put a play. It's going all right. I mean, everything's going quite bad, but I'm
what way? What's going on? Well, everything's
well,
goes
the stock
bad.
market.
That's just immaterial. That's supposed to happen. Sorry.
Hang on. No, I think I've got a bit of a. Maybe I haven't turned this one on. I don't even know how you turn them on. Maybe you have to touch that.
What is this? Boomer time.
Yeah, no. Right, we'll be all right. I'll deal with one. Okay. Right, I'm not going to monetize it, John. Don't worry about that, son. Right, Mr. African.
Monetize. Whoa.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not a
Fucking
trader.
hell.
I'm a long-term investor, right?
Yeah.
So I threw all that money in there, and every bit of spare money I've got, whether it's a tenner, whether it's £100 on indexes, and I'm looking at 10 years. Then the missus says, we need to buy land, we need to buy a house, build a house, we want to have children.
You said you can't buy land there. She can buy the land. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'll buy it for her. And people said, yeah, but what if
Can
she
you
runs away?
naturalize? Can you naturalize? Are you allowed to?
I think we can get married. If we get married first, then the land is ours. But
It
if
stays
I
in
bought her
Cambodia.
that land and she said, I'm leaving you, I just wanted the land, I'd say, you're welcome to it.
Keep the land.
You deserve it. I'll get by. You've got fuck all.
You're gonna get a bun in the oven. Do it.
I would do that. So that's not a problem. But explaining to a girl who didn't know what a bank was 2 years ago that it'd be better if we sit on that money for a few years is quite difficult. So.
Oh, so you've kind of don't worry. I know a few friends that I told you the crypto that took the gamble, lost the money. All those funny coins, if you will, the ones that don't.
Yeah, all the meme coins.
I really don't want to say what in some of my circles have been saying because it's pretty fucking dangerous and out there. And believe me, it will get me into trouble, you into trouble, and everyone else into trouble here if people let to hear this sort of stuff. You can't. It's beyond the scope, man. People wouldn't like the truth.
There's people now saying buy things like Shiba, buy Doge because it's at the drop. Put as much as you can on all those meme coins because when they rebound in a couple of years, Bitcoin, maybe.
Well, we don't know what's going to happen. The uncertainty of everything right now is the terrible part. I mean, they're talking here apocalyptic food shortages in Britain. And again, like saying this is that I don't think Britain has kind of understood. You've seen, like third world countries, dangerous countries. When they see you're the target. Oh, he must be rich. I'll take him for what he has.
Venezuela was a bit like that.
Well, yeah, you get those. You know how to handle yourself. You're okay. But imagine here going down that route in Britain or in London in the cities. That you've got. Starvation does funny things to people when they. Can they ration? Yeah. Will it go down that way? Will the West have to taste what we've done to the rest of the world? They're saying, poorer countries will be, they will suffer, but they know how to handle being poor. We don't, respectively,
And this is where something like multiculturalism raises its ugly head because if you're not integrated, which they're not.
But that I think Britain is more resourceful. And I wouldn't say just tolerant. We're better than that. The Britons aren't that bad. The English are quite stoic in some way.
Oh no, exactly. I was talking about the others.
Others, yeah, but it just depends.
If you're struggling to feed your family and your families are in general larger, where are you going to go to get the resources?
But they have bigger family units and other aspects.
But that's what I mean, to feed.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. It depends. It depends on the crime that will ensue from that, probably. But we'll have to wait and see till we get there. And today, when I got off one of the courses I'm doing was IPAF, so lifting big lifters and stuff, because I have to be up in the air at some of these sites, and that's just extra money, extra day of training. I came at the industrial estate. I thought, I'm not too far, so I walked to a pub, and I go in there just before I call a taxi. The car's off the road, and I go in just a little half, and the maitre d' sort of guy in the steakhouse kind of comes up and because I'm in kind of working gear, I've taken my high vis off, I'm clean, I haven't been working with dust all over me or whatever, and he's still kind of what are you doing sort of here? What are you doing here, sir? And I was just like, I wanted to say something really bad to him, like, give me a beer and I'm waiting for my taxi. I'm going to sit outside in the sunshine and get there and then fuck off, okay? But I was like, no, you don't have to help me. Shut up. I'm going to know where the bar is.
Hang on. What was it? Just like a sort of a gastro pub or something?
Yeah. But it's always that, pedantic sort of. I always think it as the upper middle classes. They try to put this show on, paint something over there, and say we're better than you, you bloody pleb, you worker. But again, talking to one of the guys who was doing his course, must have been 62, 3 years away from retirement, and this guy is replacing some pumps in Twickenham, and he did it 20 years ago, and there's massive ones for London. And he said, no, you can't get any of the young men. I asked him how many young men are working now in this industry and all this, and he says, there's about 2 of them that are under 35, if that. And they're, like,
hang on, I'm missing your point.
engineers.
You can't get young people to work.
Yeah, well, not just work, it's having the skill set, Chris.
Right.
Having the understanding of want to get into this engineering, you know what I mean? It's a service in that respect, but it's quite a precision stuff. You got and again, I'm going to go on a recruitment campaign here because of it, because of the way that we young, as you'd say, I call them young bucks, need to kind of get into this industry, learn from the ground up. Because that's how you learn. You can't go into practice. You can go to classes where you do theory first, and you into understanding how to handle certain tools. But you're never going to get your head around it unless you're on the ground, seeing it firsthand, drilling, cutting, milling, all that stuff from up and down. And that's what I'm going to try and get into as well with the steel.
That's interesting.
And I mean, again, I clocked a good number with a reputable retailer in the country. I think there's 3 on the go, but we've got a decent one, and that lasts for at least 6 months' work. And I'm trying to set up 2 more teams. So I've already in a month established a 5-man team and 2 in reserve. And I'm being careful of who I'm recruiting here, and what the rules are about them coming in as well, because I'm not going to just take them for a ride. I'm going to make sure their skill set, send them off, getting the right credentials before they can get on site. It's going,
It's a mad thing. I remember I was watching a documentary. This must be going back about, I don't know, actually. I'll be guessing 8-9 years. And it was some old fella who'd been in civil engineering for most of his life. And he was talking to a lot of students, at some uni. And there was about 15 of them there just around this table. And he said, so, what is your ambitions when you leave? And all of them wanted to get into what was then called media and communications, right? So actually it might have been about 15-20 years ago. It was media and communications.
Was that PR? Excuse me.
well, exactly. And he sort of said to him, what is your motivation? And they were all pretty much saying, well, this is the modern world. And he was like, you do realise that in England, for instance, manufacturing and steel makes up for something, and engineering makes up for something like 85% of our exports. Media's like a slither. It's a slither. And yet, these are the university courses that are available and that any fucker can get on, because you don't need to be too bright.
Well, this is the point, that academia, if you will, doesn't teach you shit, really. If you really love to study a certain thing, you're going to study it. Nothing's going to stop you, and you're going to love doing what you do in that regard. But it's like, let's say, regarding my missus, she went from a first in Brasenose she got, in law, and went on to do her bar. And while she was there, because of her brilliance, they said, why don't you become an academic in some respect? Why don't you go to academia? And she outrightly is glad she didn't. She has done teaching in a university before, but she said, again, that sort of life, you don't move on. You know what I mean? You're staying in one place generally.
Yeah.
So you have the scope, but you're just there all the time. You're not challenging yourself. And I guess a lot of the problems we have with our found is people don't want it. So they'll do that fucking 9-to-5 warehouse fucking shit. Push things around and then to do their weekend thing, and it just pays for them. They need to have drive, and they need to have that drive to see that they're more than that and they're capable. And because they haven't been told or given, some people aren't going to be capable. Some people will. A lot of the majority will. They've just got to get it. You have that ambition or get that stepping stone, so they get the momentum to go forward in their lives. And that's that takes a lot. Lots of people are just beat down. They're told, oh, this is what you're going to be. This is who you are. And that's not true. You've got to go out there and get it,
Let me show you a video. I was going to show you it on today's stream anyway, but I think it's quite interesting at this stage in the conversation. It's about a minute long. We should let me know you've got audio, I think, but it's very interesting what you were saying about people not being able to not wanting to work. Let me know that you can hear this.
I will mute myself while this goes on as well.
Right, let me know you can hear it though.
Здоров.
Did you hear that, people? It was like a Russian or, dare I say, Ukrainian voice. Could you hear that, Plastic? You could. I imagine the people out there could. I'll just wait. There's a slight delay. Let me know if you can see the subtitles as well, or it'll be ridiculous. Nice one, King. All right, we'll go for it. So this is a bloke, and he's gone down to the red light sort of, you know, freelance prostitute street. I think it's Ukraine, but it's that Eastern Bloc somewhere. Check this out.
Добрый вечер. Здоров. Что интересует вас? Что почем? Только блядь, слышно хуёво. Что? 300 миньет, обязательно в презервативе 400 раз, 700 час. Ага, слышишь? 700 час?
So if you couldn't read that, she's telling him she'll do a blowjob with a condom for 300 quid or fuck or whatever for 700 quid, right? This is relevant to what we were talking about, Plastic, don't worry.
А если я тебя заберу на пару часов, ну не трогай.
And then he says, what if I have you for a couple of hours, but not to fuck, right?
Домой там поубирать.
And then she says, and what? And he says, well, they're at home for you to clean, you know, fry some potatoes. So to clean the house, fry some potatoes. He doesn't want sex with her.
Картошки нажарить, постирать.
And then he says, do the laundry. And she says, oh God. And then she says, that is not for me. And he asks why, and she says, just because.
А чё? То есть ты готова трахаться, но не убирать, да?
He says, so you're ready to fuck, but you won't clean. And she says, I don't want to get into this.
Нет.
And she's off.
Вот, короче, она готова трахаться, сосать чужой вонючий хуй, но не готова убирать.
And then he says, she's ready to suck some strange smelly cock, but she's not willing to clean.
А вы потом говорите, их судьба заставила.
And then you say fate has forced them into this position.
Что-то, сука, их снимаешь.
Why are you filming them? Fate has forced them.
Судьба заставила. Они по нужде там стоят, а ты...
They stand out there out of need, and you come.
Нет у них нужды, это образ жизни.
And he says they don't need to do it. It's a way of life.
Это образ жизни, они не готовы
It's a
работать.
way of life. They're not ready to work, and they don't want to. Now, I've obviously had quite a lot of experience with working girls, and I have to say, now it's a broad brush, and I don't like doing it.
Huge, yeah.
But I do certainly know girls in that trade, and I've known them as friends, not as a customer. And you know, they look battered and drawn. They're smoking crack and all the stuff that tends to go with it. And I say, you know, why don't you, do something that build your self-esteem up? Do something that, you're not getting any younger. You're not going to, your wages are going to be going down as you get older. And a lot of girls have said to me, I don't want to work. I don't want to work. I don't want to work. I don't want to get up at 8 o'clock and work for 8 hours. I want to work for 4 hours sucking cock, and then I've got the rest of the day to myself. Now, I'm not saying that's a good or a bad thing, or the right or the wrong thing, but I just thought it was kind of interesting when you're talking about people not wanting to, or...
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of two different separate things, because, I mean, a woman, I guess men do it too, rent boys and all sorts, but one's commodity and one's agency is up to them. That's what I think. But as long as it's in a safe, secure place, I guess that's how I can say it. That's how I see it. I'm not into the litigation of it, the law of it. But yeah, it's a difficult one, Chris, because you're always going to get some people that just, what is it, the path of least resistance. That's what humans generally go about doing. We want it easy. We don't want it difficult.
You've only got to go back, like my father's and my mother's generation. Like my mum said to me, because I was on the dole, claiming welfare for years. When I was
she didn't kick you out, and she didn't kick you out the house, and she actually saved your life in that regard.
But she said to me, she said, your father would have gone mad at you. He said he was never in debt. He never claimed any welfare. And it just wasn't something they'd done. It was embarrassing. It was shameful.
Do you think it's because you had it too good? Do you think it's because you had it too good?
I think welfare was a good thing. You know, in those days, you could get loads of money.
You can still get loads of money today. It just got to depend on how work the system. It still happens.
I got written off for life for being addicted to opiates. That was what it said on my Med 4. They said he never has to work. And that was something ridiculous. Like, I think it was about £380 a fortnight. But remember, this is 1997.
That's a lot of money. It's a fucking fair wage. It's a wage. It's a fucking wage. For getting high. For getting high. Come on.
And they're paying your housing benefit, which you're doing a blag with the landlord, so you're getting half of that as well. Oh. And when I was in Leeds, I was signing on in three or four people's names.
Bloody hell, Chris.
Taking like $2 or $3 grand a fortnight. Now, I'm not proud of that. I'm rather embarrassed, but I can assure you I'm not the only person.
But I give you that we humans will exploit anything as well. That's the other gain in it, isn't it? It's easy to do. It's not easy in some way because you got to run around, you got to remember, you got to do all these other things to catch up on what you're doing, instead of doing the hard day's graft and going back and paying your tax and all that shit that goes with it. And that's a difficult one that I'm finding, because of where the taxman sits to where the startup business is going. I'm finding that
one of the ways they caught me out. Sorry to interject. I'll let you carry. One of the ways they caught me out was they turned up at my door one day and they said, Mr. Johnson, I think I was signing on one of them. They said, Mr. Johnson. I was like, yeah. They said, we want to know how you've been living. Butch, we only have one on at a time, mate. You'll have to wait till this fella's gone and then you can try again. So I'll just drop you out for now. No problem, though. So they said, we want to know how you've been living. I said, well, I'm on welfare. They said, yeah, but we haven't paid you for 9 months. Because I had so many going, they'd fucked up. And they were like, so why haven't you come and told us? And I was like,
what's going on? So it was a welfare check.
So you owe me about $8,000, yeah? It didn't go down well.
Yeah, I bet you didn't. Oh, man, Chris.
That's a shocker, isn't it?
But again, it always brings me back to that one of the first videos I watched, the stories you told me about, or what it was that, the junkies playing 40 chess. Was it when the guy smacks you, and it's your mate, and he goes, he hands you a bit, and it's like you found out it was dodgy money in the first place, and he watched you go there, and it's like that, isn't it, Chris? It is. There's CD everywhere, and in business, man, it's the same seed that's there, just in a different suit. It still wants to get over you, man, always. So to have to try to take your position and know where you stand, where you're grounded in this world, to who you are, is very important. And not many people get that opportunity to think like that. To try to awaken in their moment. This is your life. This is your choice as well. And that I think has been stripped away in Western foundation for a long time. It's slow, like you said, the men of before, even if you go back to the ancients, as we say, we are the children of men. We are not those men. We couldn't wield those weapons those soldiers had, those fucking things on horseback and arrows and fucking even the knights, the chivalry. Fuck me, man. You try to do that shit today, you'd be like, oh, fuck this crap. You know what I mean? But they did it.
I can't wait to smoke.
Yeah, what the fuck is this about? And there's still so many mysteries to this earth that we
I think so much of it just comes from big government. We'll look after you. We'll look after you. I was brought up in that environment.
It can be big government, or it's just an overarching control. Because that's what I see going on here in the whole world. Like when they say the new world, blah, 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 that's going on. You'll own nothing and be happy. And all these other little things going on here, the crypto, all of it. It's all a big web. It's all coming together. It's trying to come together. It's frantically trying to bring itself together. And I've always said that the human spirit is an incredible thing. Like, in the story of it was an old Soviet Union story about a baby that was born, and it was huge, and it kept on eating and eating, and the villagers have to feed it and feed it and feed it, and it just gets bigger and bigger, and then the food dries up. There's no more food, so the baby starts eating the villagers, and the last person the baby eats is a little child, a little girl who has a pair of scissors, and from the inside out cuts through and kills the baby. So, it's the understanding that something so big can be broken down by something so fucking small. A pair of scissors and a little girl. It is in the human spirit, is the endeavor of it. They can't break that. And I hope that with all this madness going on, this these terrible existential ideas of who we think we are, it's me, it's instead it should be given. We should give to each other more and more willingly, and without going, oh, look what I did here, I'll just put it on Facebook, sorry.
I think that's really interesting, because what you've essentially said is the opposition to this is nature. That's what they're fighting. Basically. But they're very shrewd with it, because I think naturally we are giving. But when they take your community away from you, and you've got no one to give anything to, it's quite shrewd.
Of course it is. And it's also, trying to say that we have to validate each other. Our claims have to be validated through these other mediums. People have to know who you are through this mechanism or this mechanism. That's bullshit. You know what I mean? It should be your friends, families, and where you grow, and what's good for you. What's good, the goodness in life that you take forward from. No matter what you do in this world, as long as you do something with pride and being good, why the hell not? Be proud of that, and praise that person for it. Because there's some, sometimes I'm going to work and I see this one kid, he's on his bicycle, and he almost hit me, man. I was like, what the hell are you doing? And he must have been 16, but then when he went, sorry, he was clearly a bit of a simpleton, if you will. But I thought, you know what, that's cool. But I saw the joy in his life. He's going to work, and he's going to get there and get his money, and it's not even about the money. I have purpose, and you see that, and all these people that are able, they can think, they have an inner monologue, yet they're like, oh, was it about me? I didn't have this, and it's like, fuck you, man.
It's interesting. Harry, young Harry, does the keto stuff. You must know Harry. TRUK.
Okay, yeah. I do know Harry, yeah.
He told me once, because me and him talk a lot offline. He told me once he was the trolley dolly, the trolleys in Sainsbury's car park bloke. Now, in Dartford, they're the blokes that do that a few, sandwiches short of a picnic, and that they literally are like, oh, thank you. When Harry told me that, I was, you fucking done that. You actually, and my initial response was to just ridicule him. And I said, why the fuck? Because he's a bright kid, Harry.
Yeah.
Well, not so much of a kid anymore. And he said there was nothing else available, and I wanted some money. And he said, so I just done it.
Yeah, exactly.
And actually, I then suddenly went, that's
that's good, because it shows hard working. It shows him he's looking for other things.
And he's doing right for money at the moment. He's doing right for money at the moment.
If you want it, if you want it, you can get it. And I want to be part of that recruitment drive. I will. Actually, I'm not going to want to. I'm doing it. And sooner or later, I want those fucking young people to understand there's a better future for them, but they've got to do it outside of things, build things. There's lots of ideas coming up. Just keep it going, be positive, and that's what we should try.
And you've got to realise that
things are
the
going to get
world's
tough.
Out there. It doesn't come to you.
Yeah,
it doesn't come to you.
Again, a saying is, if you run to the world will run away from you. But if you turn your back to the world will come towards you.
Oh, that gives me the shivers.
Cool, no worries. You take it easy.
Always a pleasure. I can tell by your expression that work's going well, man. I'm really proud of you.
Training. I'm going to go down south tomorrow. I'm just going to I'm helping build a dude's rig, PC. So I'm going to give him a new GPU. I got him. So he wants a new GPU. So I got him a nice one. He's a good guy. Actually, he's kind of mentor in some respect. He's a lot older than me. And he's a bit of I wouldn't say, an introvert in some way. A smart guy. So, but I'm going down, sort him out that. We'll eat some boerewors, chill out in the sun, and then I'll shoot off home. You know what I mean? So make some time for everyone. Take it easy,
Anglo's got beard envy. I'm sure you hear it daily. Take care, man.
Be safe, Cheers, guys. Thanks, Chris.
Always a pleasure to talk to Plastic Africa. Nice one, Anglo, for that as well. Yeah, I mean, you know, when Plastic African has come on here and I haven't been able to understand him. We've all seen him on here Sunday morning. And then he got this gig he's doing now, which is a big gig, and he knows it's good for him. And okay, so that goes there for the time being because this is more important because so many of the things he said then are really important life lessons. This is your life. You're in it now. This is it. You know, talking to Matt the other night and talking about giving up drugs or giving up smoking or giving up anything. That if you can do anything you want in life as long as you're prepared to deal with the consequences that can be both positive or negative or neutral. That's how it is. But the amount of people I know who've talked about giving up smoking and they've sort of said, well, you know, the problem is, you know, my missus is a bit depressed at the moment. My kids are having a bit of trouble at school. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's life. And then when your missus isn't so depressed and your kid ain't having trouble, your car will fail its MOT and you might get a sack. And there's never a good, your life isn't going to plateau to this perfect existence where you're going to be like, no, I'm going to give up smoking because I've got no stress. No, stress is part of life and stress is a good thing. Too much stress will kill you. Stress is the biggest killer in the West. Fact. I know that for a fact. That's based on research. But a little bit of stress is what motivates you. My business is struggling at the moment. If I lose that, I lose my life that I've built here that I love. So I've got busy. I've used that stress. I've been content marketing. I've been doing this. I've been doing that. I've been getting busy. I've been doing what I have to do. And without that little bit of stress, I wouldn't be doing it. But what's the other option? Just sit back and watch it all fall apart. And then when I'm saying to my missus, listen, sorry, darling, I know we've had 5 years in love, but I've got to go and live at my mum's. And if I end up at my mother's, what happens then? What happens in Dartford sitting on my ass doing nothing? That I've been there before. It doesn't go well. Doesn't go well. And all my mates that still live in that manner is 24/7, stay highs, bit of sulphur at the weekend, smoke a couple of pipes here and there, and then of course all the junkies start knocking on my door because they know I'm a bit weak, and you know that ain't going to go well. So I use that stress. You know, this is my life, and it's getting to the twilight years, and I want to make some things happen that I missed out on. I want to have a family. I want to build a house. You got to work. You got to go and get life. It's not going to plateau. There's never going to be a perfect time where you can get busy. That time is right now. Well, not right now. Watch this stream, please, because it's good. There was a bloke called Butch who I've never seen here before. Butch, you want to come on now? I mean, you're more than welcome to. I haven't got a Danny LaRue who you are. Nigel says vitamin B for stress. We need a little bit of stress. You need a little bit. But if too much will kill you, you know, and it really does. Stress causes other illnesses. You know, most illnesses, even common cold, stress weakens your immune system. It makes you pick up illnesses, diseases, all sorts of things. Here's Butch. I haven't got a fucking Danny who Butch is. He's looking rather confident. He looks like a professional YouTuber. You look quite familiar. What's going on here, Butch? Who the fuck are you?
Hey, it's
I mean that in a nice way. It is Butch. Who's Butch?
Oh, sorry, we keep it to talk over each other, but I'm watching your program, and I'm a fan of yours, and I noticed your name is Dangerfield, and I was wondering, I have a question for you, and my question is...
Am I related to Rodney?
That wasn't my question, but it does take the wind out of my sails on my question. My question was, do you get no respect?
Go on. I get that a lot. Butch, can I ask you, are you high as fuck?
Am I high as fuck? Am I
high as fuck?
Am I high as fuck? Am I high as fuck? Is that seriously a question you're asking me?
I'm so jealous of that. I'm so jealous. How do I get one of them? Where is it? How much does it cost? And how easy is it for me to set up?
I think the reason that you don't have one is because you don't get no respect.
Go on, son. Wait, one in the chat. One in the chat if you don't know who this is. That's not a bad thing, Butch. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I get the feeling no one knows, which is all right. It's just a bit freaky.
But why would they know who I don't understand why you think they would know who I was.
Because everyone in that chat pretty much knows everyone because we do this every day. So you've just come out of the blue, but I'm loving it. Look at that psychedelic backdrop.
Yeah, it's for my show. It's very
Look, no one knows. It's just a sea of ones.
Is everybody enjoying my appearance? Having a good time on it, or am I basically?
This is perfect. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. And now I'm trying to work out your T-shirt. It looks like a
Kung Fu Hustle.
Elvis.
The movie Kung Fu Hustle. Do you know that movie?
I do.
It's a famous movie.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Butch, are you a YouTuber? Because you look like you've got the setup.
Yeah.
Am I a YouTuber? Oh, what a question to ask somebody.
Yeah, but I'm an old man.
I'm honestly not a YouTuber. No, to be honest with you, I just noticed that your name was Dangerfield, and I thought to myself, I wonder if this guy doesn't get no respect.
Yeah, go on. That's 3 times now. You're gonna get. You can say it once more. You can drop it in a bit later. Butch, what do you do?
Go on and see Dr. Vinny Boombaz. That's a doctor of Rodney Dangerfield from his joke. What do I do? I have an interview with Jack Berkman that I have to get ready for. So
no, I don't mean what do you do literally like now, but what is your life? What are you?
I work at a store, and I go on to the store. I'm part of Fun Bunch with live in Florida, and I hang out on with different Fun Bunch members. We got Daryl and
Officer Steve. Don't Officer Steve.
And there's all kinds of Tech Head Terry.
Tech Head Terry really loves tech. He's the one who hooked me up with this whole thing.
And
so I need to talk to Tech Head Terry.
You do need to talk on Tech Head Terry, and the song will play now. And basically, I work at a store, and I walk there sometimes if bus doesn't come to get me to the store, and then I watch on the show. And I'll tell you what, I'll give you an honest opinion. My honest opinion, if I could be honest with you in the chat, and I hope nobody finds this to be disrespectful or finds this to be uncalled for. But my question for you, sir, is do you get no respect?
Amazing. He probably thought he was the first person to say it as well. Well, I quite enjoyed Butch. I mean, I'm sure he'll chop that and put it on his show, and it'll be funny because I've got I've got the same second name as someone else. I quite enjoyed Butch. I'll have people like Butch on all day long. As Dak says, trolling. Well, low-grade trolling, let's be fair. I mean, Jess, probably a bad choice of words. I quite liked Butch. He was all right, wasn't he? Just some stoner. These are your young American kids who work in stores and think that having a vocal effect is something to do. I'm with you, IJB. I want him to come back another time. I reckon he might pop in. We'll have to track him down. I might have to go and watch his show. But I told him I'll give him another one, and he had another one. Oh no, without a doubt, he was absolutely stoned as fuck. And if he wasn't, then he should probably see a doctor. Yeah, I'm with you, John. He wasn't rude. He was just a bit stupid. But I'll take it. I mean, I found it very entertaining. I can't sit here and say you can come on and say whatever you want, and then get annoyed when someone comes on and says whatever they want. That tickled him. He had a laugh. I had a laugh. No dramas. Bit of a shame he didn't stay on a bit longer. But there you go. Clark said they hang out in Florida. Yeah, they probably sit around talking about Pineapple Express and things. But yeah, no, Butch can come back anytime. I mean, he sat through the whole of Plastic African to drop his gags in. So, you know, Colt Python will come on one day. Why don't you come on now, Colt? I'll put the invite in the chat. I wonder how Butch, I mean, a bit of an ironic name. bit of an ironic name for a 4-gram child, but you know. Yeah, I think so, Clark. I had to put a limit on 4, I think, you know. Yeah, I can't see that happening. Meet my mate Stanley. Yeah, come outside, I'll give you some respect. Dennis says boring and gay. Mark says, has he got a channel? I want to sub. Well, I tried to get that out of him. I think what he'll have to do, Mark, is go back. It was called something a little bit sensual, a bit homosexual. The Fun Bunch. It's a bit surfboards and marijuana for me, but, you know, it was all right. Planet X says he was the Sundance Kid's friend. I don't know what anyone's talking about anymore. Mate, I think what happens with people like that is they come on here thinking that you know, because communities like this are quite rare on the internet. So he comes on not knowing that he's sticking out. He doesn't realise how much he stands out. We all know that he's going to try and troll me because he's not one of us. We are us. So there you go. Yeah, he was a strange one though. Where FF was, I think, didn't he say something about the Fun Factory or something? I reckon he was another one of that firm because he said something like, "For fuck's sake, this bloke's been on for ages talking about Plastic African." So you know, I probably wouldn't get on too well with someone who's moaning that someone was having a good conversation. No, McAfee was excellent. That's back up live as well. But Mark, who's in the chat, will what's the word? He will confirm what I told you. I told Mark before that McAfee thing. I said, this is what happens. I said, chances are he'll just get rid of me. He won't want to do it because McAfee wanted it just to be about him showing off. And I didn't want that. And I said, I'm going to go in hard. And unfortunately, his anal sphincter couldn't handle the girth of my hardness. Who else is coming on? Why don't you come on, Mark? Mark, imagine you. I've known this geezer for 39 years. 39 years. You know, in the 80s when kids got stuck down holes, and it was in the papers and the ambulances and the fire engine and the police arrived and they had to get them out and it was in all the newspapers. That was me and him. In the local rag, it said, kids trapped in a chamber of horrors. And the subtitle was lured by tales of human sacrifice, which is not completely true. Go on, Lula. I only say it for you. Hello, Sophist. Marzipan says, I'll drop in, but I'm having trouble speaking at the moment. Jock accent and dental problems. Yeah. Yeah, all right. I'll accept that. Emergency appointment tomorrow. What? Have you got agony in the mouth? What's going on with your mouth? What's the problem? Mark's too nervous. I see, I've never understood this about you, Mark. I mean, maybe it's because you're not nervous with me, but I don't see you as a nervous bloke. Not at all. Not at all. I mean, you're nervous about answering Slack, you fucking cunt. Drive me mad. But a little work dig there, people. But apart from that, you're all up front. Kevin wants to know what Plastic African does for a living. Well, he's obviously got he's got to be a little bit vague about these things, but at the moment he's working on a project where he's designing these sort of basically photo booths for cars. So say you own Auto Trader and you need to get 500 cars photographed rather than a bloke with his iPhone at 7 o'clock at night, when you can get cars in turned photographed, or maybe even top end advertising. You know, I think that's what it is. But understandably, he's got to be a little bit vague about the details. But that's what he's doing, and you can just tell by his attitude to life and his presence at the moment that he's absolutely loving it. Packer, the boy Packer. Hello, Packer.
Hang on.
Absolutely love it. Let me get some water.
There we go. It's not me, it's the missus.
Oh, no. You know what happens now? I get all nervous. But I haven't got the missus here, so maybe we won't get nervous. But Packer, just make sure you ensure that I have both my hands in view all the time, yeah? Imagine.
Here she is.
Hello. Oh.
I'm just trying to get it out.
Dirty bastard.
Whoa, I had a mosquito bite on the perennial. Hello, love. How are you?
Hello, I can't hear him very well.
Can you not hear him?
That's because I'm whispering to you, if you know what I mean. Trying to keep it on the QT. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Darling, can you
That's
hear me?
better. Yeah, he was plugged into the telly.
Can he hear us? Can he hear what
No.
I'm saying?
No.
Good stuff. That's right. You relax. I'm getting quite hot in here. Are you getting quite hot?
I've been hot all day.
Oh God, you're always hot. Steady. I might take my t-shirt off. Are you going to take yours off? Anyway, so hello. Oh my God, this has all gone very bad. Hello.
It's what he got here.
So,
It's fine.
Oh look. He's like my missus. Look, won't get out of shot. Look. He's pretending he had to get something. Oh look, he's still going to pretend. Look, he's staying in shot. Look. Amazing. Just right there. Incredible. And bloke's funny. Now, how I can't really see you. You're quite dark.
Oh, love, it's a bit dark.
Yeah, I know.
Intentionally.
Yeah.
Right, let me just calm down. Let's just calm down. Anyway, how are you, you gorgeous beauty?
Oh, I'm tired, but yeah.
I am hot and tired. I'm hot and I want to be tired. Right, let's just stop this. Let me just get a few breaths. Do you want to take some deep breaths? Just let your lungs gently rise, gently fall. How's your day been?
Oh, busy.
I'm really struggling. You've been busy.
I've been at work
school.
I've been at work since 5:30.
Oh my God! What time is it there now? About 8:30, 7:30?
7.
That's a long day, isn't it?
Well, I didn't finish till 3:30, so yeah, I did 10 hours today.
Do you usually do a 10-hour shift? Is that your?
No, usually 9.
9 hours? What, 5 days a week?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man. Well, so I do that, but I do it sitting here on my arse. It's not quite the same. You love it though, don't you? You love your job.
Well, yeah. It's better than the care home.
I love you. Sorry. What? How long? Come on, I'm just trying to make you laugh. How long ago did you leave the care home?
Oh, 4 years ago.
But you're like a caring person because you've gone from care work to care work. Essentially, it's just it's the coffin dodgers to the newborns.
Exactly. My mum and
you
sister
always
was a
been
carer.
like that?
Yeah, well, my mum and sister both carers, so.
So it's all in the family.
Yeah.
What can I ask you? And I am being serious now. So, how many sisters have you got?
1.
Brothers?
1.
And are you the middle one?
No, I'm the oldest.
That's what I should have guessed, obviously. So your mum's a carer, or was a carer, is a carer. Your sister's a carer.
Yeah, she's a carer. Well, she's off at the minute, bless her. But.
And did you grow up with a father?
Until I was about 9, then he left.
Just done the off.
Yeah, he went off with the babysitter.
Oh my God! Just like textbook deceit.
Yeah.
So That's quite hard. That must have gone down hard of a woman with 3 kids.
Well, it was, especially the way he did it. So.
Was it like a Dear John? Well, a Dear Joan letter, I suppose.
Well,
See,
no, he didn't. No letter, nothing. He basically dropped. Of course, me and my siblings off at my grandma's for the weekend. Say I see you on a Sunday, and he never come back.
And you've never seen him since?
Well, we did see him again a few years later, but then I stopped contact because he was a bit of a dick, to be fair.
Oh, okay. So, do you want to talk about this? You don't have to.
No, it's fine.
Okay. So he didn't come and collect you again. Your mum's come to get you, and she sort of said, "Well, you ain't going to see your dad again."
No, she went shopping on the Saturday. Went to pay for some things, and a card got declined, and then it found out he took all the money out of the account.
An absolute stitch up. Took the money and everything.
Yeah. And left her in a lot of debt as well. Rent to be paid, and they got homeless and everything. So.
And so, did your mother sit you 3 down and say, "Look"?
Yeah, it was basically my mum and my aunt and that lot.
What was your relationship with your father like before he left?
Well, to be fair, I can't really remember, but we thought it was all right. To be fair.
Weird. That is really, really sad as well. Really sad. But it sounds like your mum done a good job though.
Oh yeah, I love my mum to bits, and she's my mum and my father, to be fair. So.
Yeah, my mum kind of had to do that. I was a bit older. I was 16. My dad died. He didn't run away, but he probably would have done, given the chance, to be honest with you. But our babysitter was rank. So. Did you go straight into the working at the care home, or did you have any jobs before that? No. I'm just trying to build a picture up of your sort of journey.
No, my care home was my first actual proper job.
And how old were you then?
I was 19.
And did you have to do some kind of training, or did you go straight from?
Well, I did a little bit of training, which is just general on. You go in, do some shadow shifts, and then you get chucked in, basically.
So I'm not saying this to be grotesque or anything, but when you work in a care home, do you have to sort of, You've
got to go for DBS checks and everything to make sure
I
don't mean that.
I don't know. I mean, like, tissue paper and things, and help out with that sort of thing.
No, I don't do that bit.
And are there specialised nurses who do that sort of thing?
Yeah. I just stick to food. I did. So
you deal with the other end of that cycle.
Yeah. No, I just deal with basically catering for the food. That's it. Serve it. I don't have anything to do with the actual residents.
What did you want out of life when you were a young girl?
Actually, I actually wanted to be a songwriter. that was my passion.
Do you still do that? Do you play any instruments or anything?
Oh, I play the piano.
Do you?
Yeah.
Have you got a piano?
Yeah, I've got a keyboard and a piano in the conservatory.
You've got an actual piano. I'm guessing it's an upright.
No, electric one.
An electric one. I haven't got space for a natural piano, but I've got an electric one.
Have you ever played a Fender Rhodes?
No.
It's called a Fender Rhodes. It's got a beautiful sound. When I'll tell you what, we'll have a listen to one now. I think you'll like it. You'll probably recognise it from music. It's a very distinct sound. I'll play you a little bit of a Fender Rhodes. It's an electric piano, well, an electric keyboard, but it's got such a nice sound. And all that sort of blue note jazz era. This is 1973, this model. Right, here we go. Bit of Fender Rhodes. Tell me what you think. It's gorgeous. I've never seen this video before, so if he's a rubbish player, then this will be embarrassing. Here we go.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, man, that's gorgeous. And they're only like so big, It's maybe get the old man to get you a Fender Rhodes next time you come on. I'll sing a bit of Billie Holiday, and you can do the comping. Hello, mate. Behind. Does the lad want to say hello? He doesn't have to do it.
Do you
on
want to
the
say
slide.
hello? Do you
Come
say
on,
hello?
if you want.
Go on, put your phones on. Just
Do you say hello? Hold on.
Yeah, you can. No problem.
Hello,
mate.
Dangerfield.
Oi! You can't call me Dangerfield. How are you?
I'm good.
How do you? Oi, who do you like most, your mum or your dad?
My mum.
Me too. Are you still there, my friend? Why
Yeah.
do you like? Why do you like your mum more? Because she makes you food.
Yes, mostly.
She told me that she makes food for all your school and that they all love it.
Yeah, as well.
What do you like doing? What do you do for fun?
I'm pretty much just playing video games.
What video game? What's your favourite video game?
Fortnite.
You know what? I live in Cambodia, which is like about 3,000 miles away from England. And there's a game here called Free Fire. And it's sort of like a Cambodian copy of Fortnite. And I'll be honest with you, I get a bit addicted to it. I have to take it off my phone because I can't stop playing it. Do you sometimes find that you waste too much time playing Fortnite?
Yes.
Oh, you know you do. Do you sometimes feel bad if you like? It's Saturday, you're off school, you could do anything, go anywhere, go out, talk to your girlfriend, but you've stayed in all day and played Fortnite. Do you feel bad sometimes?
Yeah.
That's really interesting. What do you want to do when you're older? Have you got any idea what sort of things interest you?
YouTuber.
You want to be a YouTuber?
Yeah.
Well, I think you should start. I think why don't you do that already? That might be a bit better than playing Fortnite. It's easy to set yourself up a little channel. Talk about Fortnite. Talk about whatever you want.
Okay.
Oh, that's so sweet. Okay. All right. Listen, it's been lovely talking to you. Did you yawn then? Did you yawn?
No, I was breathing.
You were breathing.
Yeah, I sometimes stress talking to new people.
Oh my God, you're so sweet. I get like that though, but what happens with me when I talk to new people, I get all sort of excitable and loud and I start, going crazy, but it's only because I'm a bit stressed. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's the same as what you said. Like, so when you get stressed, do you get a little bit sort of introvert, a bit sort of into yourself?
Yes.
A bit quiet. Yeah, me and you are the same, but my way of coping is to be loud rather than quiet. But I get stressed talking to new people. It can be quite difficult, can't it?
Yeah.
Are you like that at school? Have you got friends at school?
Yeah.
And are you all right talking to them because they're not new people?
Yeah.
Tell me something. Tell me something that scares you. Not talking to me or new people.
I'm not really scared of anything that much.
Yes, that's the correct answer. That is absolutely the correct answer. Well, listen to me, my friend. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I think you should start your YouTube channel as soon as possible because if you get in now, build up an audience and then, why wait? Why wait? It doesn't make sense.
There we go.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, he's disappeared. I've just chopped you out of the screen. All right, put your headphones back on your mum. Lovely to talk to you, my friend. Can you give me one of these? Can you give me one of these? A bit of that. I've gone. Say, I've gone. Bless you. Thank you, mate. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
Take care too. Bye.
Hello.
What a ridiculously good job you've done on that chart. What a lovely kid. I'm nearly crying. Amazing, lovely. I thought he yawned, and I said, I don't know if you could hear what was going on. I said, "Are
No.
you yawning?" He sort of took a deep breath, and I said, "Are you yawning?" He said, "No, just breathing." And I said, "Oh, it seemed quite big." And he said, "I get stressed sometimes talking to new people." Oh, it was lovely. No, what a great job you've done on him. Yeah, look, Jess says this. Look, this is one of the cutest things I've seen in ages. It was incredible. What a lovely kid. I asked him what he wanted to be when he was older, and he said a YouTuber.
Yeah. Oh, that and racing driver. He forgot that one, but.
Well, if he wants to set up a YouTube channel, if you need any help, I can tell you what to do. It's easy. You can get StreamYard. You don't have to pay for it unless you stream more than 20 hours a month, and I don't think he'll be doing that. See, and with the headset and that, you've got it all set up.
Well, he's already got all that.
Yeah, exactly. Is there anything you want to ask me or talk to me about?
No, I just thought I'd come and pass the time.
Bit of flirtation. Nothing wrong with that. I love you. Mrs. I will talk to you again, all right? Thanks for coming on again anytime. Can you see how red I've been for the duration of this conversation? It's just shocking. My heart's going for the dozen. See you later, darling. Thanks for coming on.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Hot bird, man. Good Lord. Jesus Christ. Just... It's been a while since I've seen an English lady. I was so relieved when she put the kid on. I was thinking, Jesus Christ, I'm going to slip over in a minute. That is vulgar. Wasn't he a lovely kid though? Wasn't he an absolutely lovely kid? A bit of vartation would be nice. It is now 1:20 in the morning. Knocking out some quality content. Hello, Charlie. Nice to see you. Hello, Billy. What have you missed? We had a bloke called Butch come on, and he just asked me if I got no respect, like Rodney Dangerfield 4 times. Hello, Andrew. Hello, Vlad Loto. Nice to see you. Andrew says, late, just landed, but how sweet. Nice lad. Well done, Mrs. Packer and Mr. Packer. Respect. Yeah, lovely kid. It broke my heart talking to him. You forget how innocent, children are. Just innocent. And I do appreciate, I would, if I was a gambling man and you could gamble on kids. I have gambled on kids fighting, of course. In Thailand, you can gamble on like 6-year-olds fighting. Vart, thank you. Vart responder, numero uno. But when a kid's that honest, they're usually going to do well because it's not just honesty they're showing, but it's self-awareness. When I asked him if he yawned, and he said, no, just breathing. I sometimes get nervous talking to new people. Most kids won't say that. Most kids, they'll hide that sort of thing. There's shame or guilt, but he's just got an awareness. That tells me that he's confident in himself. No, I get nervous when I talk to new people. Fucking incredible. And it's weirdly those teenage post-puberty years that corrupt all that, because that's when the group dynamics start really having an effect on kids. That's when they really need support. And weirdly, in Western culture, when they don't get it. We talked to someone, I can't remember who it was the other day, excuse me for forgetting, but it was certainly my experience as well. But after you go through puberty, that's when that sort of, certainly with blokes, in my experience and my friends, it's that post-puberty phase where you need support and guidance, that you actually break away from your father. And that, when you need guidance and help, you think you can do it all on your own. And then you've got all that peer group grief and all that, group dynamic stuff coming in. It's, I'm all about having a family, but it's got to be, there's got to be a fair amount of fear there. And also, My mother, once I went to the Downs school, my secondary school was called the Downs, and it was the school in Dartford that was with all the lunatics, and my sweet little accent soon went down the pan. And my mum used to say to me, she used to say, people used to come round here just to listen to you talk, because I was like, hello, and I said, well, sorry I grew up. Maybe you should have got some you should have bathed me in anti-aging cream, Mum. Chrissy! Thank you, Chrissy. Machano Caprasha Tatatu. Quadrex is having an absolute field day. Look, millions of them. Zen wants to know if anyone here used to listen to the Kev Baker show. Not me. I didn't know that. I don't know what's going on there. Sorry about the members stream, people. I've left it so long; it's just become a stress now. I want to sort of, what I've got to not do is try and deal with them all in one hit. I've got it in my head that I'll do a 4-hour. I don't think that'd be good for you or me. I think I've just got to accept that I fucked up again, get back into the process of doing, hour or two a month and just go with it. I mean, I am fallible and I have already apologized. I only apologize once for anything, because if you apologize once and you mean it, that's all you only need to apologize once. Ted, all right, fella, been lurking, but good stream as always, bro. Yeah, I'm having an absolute ball. I think we're about to hit 2 hours. I think I'll probably do about another 30 minutes because I've had no time to myself today, and I do need a little bit. But nice to know you're there, Ted. Always a pleasure. Yeah, thank you very much for that as well. I appreciate Kooky. Hello, Woodlander. That was wonderful to listen to. It was a pleasure to talk to him. Lovely kid. I wish I'd had kids. I really wish I'd had kids. It's not a regret because that's a waste of time. But got sold a dummy, didn't I? Got sold a dummy. I was told you'll be all right. Just get out there and have fun. Get out there and go mad, which I did. Don't get me wrong. I know plenty of people who've had kids who've said to me, I wish I've had your fucking life. And I'm like, well, the grass is always greener. Trust me. I wish I'd had yours. And they're like, no, you wish you had mine now. You all the hard work you don't see, the bits when your kids are going mental and all that. And I'm like, yeah, fair enough. Because now I'm 50, I've got a little bit of wisdom, a little bit of understanding of how the world works. So, but would I have been able to handle a kid at 30? I couldn't even handle myself at 30. Don't know about that. Nigel says, Packer family, nice people. Yeah, absolutely wonderful. I love her. Hang on, what's up with Paxmax? Paxmax, why don't you come on, son? It's been an absolute age since we've spoken. I'll put the invite in the chat. You're more than welcome, Paxmax, as is anyone. Yeah, I give it a good go. I certainly had a bit of a laugh. But you can't have everything. That's one thing you learn in life. You can't have everything. I've had girlfriends for nearly all my life, and I've cheated on most of them. And when I'm single, I miss intimacy and I miss love. And the older I get, the more I need intimacy and the more I need love. Even Freud said that. Even Freud said at the end of the day, you need love more than anything. More than anything. Well, air and food, water. But it's essential, love. It's essential to be loved, but then you sacrifice other things, don't you? But you can't have it all. And if you try, that's being greedy. And that's how comes you end up homeless as a crack addict with people chasing you around the country trying to kill you. Pags wants a shrubbery. Well, get one sorted, Pags. Why don't you sort out a shrubbery? Can you get an allotment? Here it comes, Pax Max. I get distracted rather quickly because I like you all. It's in the link. We haven't talked in a long time. Quadrex is going to come on when he's got a decent internet connection. John wants a new welder. Pags lives in a flat. Can't you get an allotment, or can't you find someone who's got a garden they don't use? There's plenty of people who've got gardens they don't use, and you do a deal with them. Let me use your garden, and we'll go 70-30 on the crop. You can have all the male plants, and I'll do the off with the buds. Boom. Now, Ragnar Ironspear Broken Silence wants his country back. Not Botch. I honestly thought it was him for a minute then. Before we talk Botch, I'm going to call you that now. Hang on, what was I going to say? Give me a second, Botch. Botch. Rags, did you go and have your scan today? I'm sure you said it was Thursday. Let me know about that. How are you, Botch?
Yeah, I hope Mike is working. You can hear me all right?
Clear and German as the day is long.
Nice.
Oh God. This is a very strange one tonight. How are you? I've just noticed before we start, have you deliberately swerved your beard?
Sorry about that, sir.
No, I like it. I thought it was intentional.
It's fucking awful. It's unsymmetrical, making everything worse. It's and it wasn't much to make worse though. So well, I tend.
What is this incredible low self-esteem opener there? All I said was, is your beard meant to be like that? And you said it's worse and making everything else look worse. You look great. I thought it was deliberate. I liked it. I've never seen a swerve beard before.
Well, I sleep on the same side every night, I guess. And and that shower thing, yeah, whenever.
I'll be honest with you, I'm not great for showers, and in this climate, you sort of need to be. My missus will have 2 or 3 or sometimes 4 a day, and when she's not here, between me and you, I'll sometimes go 2 or 3 days without a shower. 36 degrees. What's the longest you've gone without a shower? Be honest.
Could have been the other week. It was probably 2 weeks without a full body shower. And I had a mate over.
Men are gross, man. Men are.
Oh yeah.
Why? I'll tell you what it is for me. I think I don't want to go back to junk, but when you're a junkie, you don't like water on your skin, and I think that's just carried over. It's just time as well, isn't it? It's so boring getting there, and then you've got to get dry, and out here the act of getting dry makes you hot because of the climate, and then you sweat, and it's like
back to square one.
Exactly. But 2 weeks. Do you do your balls, armpits, and face though occasionally?
Armpits and crotch, yes.
Crotch, glands, shall we say gland? You've got
every day the glands. Otherwise, you're gonna end up with problems if you don't do that.
I got what was it? I got something in Thailand when I was withdrawing from not cleaning my glands. It caked up rather badly. Yeah.
I'm gonna need to wash that down.
Oh my days. Now, is that a lager you're drinking, or an energy drink, or just sugar?
That is the German specialty. When you mix some kind of you mix ordinary beer with a little bit of like some soda. Could be grape soda, lemon soda, and you mix 50-50, and you have a nice, refreshing summer drink. Or
I never believe the idea that alcohol is refreshing. It might be for 2 minutes, but it tends to.
Yeah, but then you
In
have another
England-
one, and
It's. I know what you're saying, but refreshing is. I think it's a. It's like I see these movies with like these sort of, the movers and shakers. They've just broken a deal and it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon and they get out the whiskey and, it's a big shot and they're like, ha, 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 and they drink it. I mean, I'd be asleep after that. I'd be like, oh, it's 1:30.
yeah, every time on all of these TV shows, they pour half a glass and they drink 2 sips and leave the rest. That's an
there you go.
expensive way.
I think what you said about the half beer and some kind of soda, we call that in England a shandy.
Right.
Or
in German,
you'll auger a lager top.
Fuck, it's impossible to read. It's called Radler in German. Radler, ja. Die deutsche Radler.
How's your German at the moment?
It's actually improving. Lately, I've been forced to use it more and more. So it's good. The German is not good, but it's good. I'm forced to use it more and more.
And when you say you've been forced to use it, is that because you've had to try and make up excuses for why you smell like a polecat?
Partly that, and also I'm jumping from disaster to the next disaster to the next disaster and to the next event, and it's just a never-ending shit show cycle at my place. So it's crazy.
Life not going too well at the moment.
No.
Likewise. It's interesting.
So yeah. So I'm broken my perfect record. Of only drinking once a week. That one is out the window at the moment. Now it's been every day. Yeah, a little bit.
How long's that been going on for?
Well, every day has been maybe like the 5th day now, and before that it was maybe 3 times a week. Something like that.
And but what we talking about? A couple of those, let's call them shandies for the sake of it. A couple of shandies a day.
Yeah, these are 2%. And
yeah.
I
mean,
so
it's interesting.
Two of them.
It's interesting that you've acknowledged the sort of progress of the frequency, even though it's that's fairly low alcohol consumption, isn't it? But
yeah, I was limiting it hard before as well. So maximum drink 1 time a week, and maximum like 5 beers or 4 beers and 2 shots, or something like that. Absolute maximum.
If you don't want to answer this or go in this direction, just say, and I'll of course respect that. But have you made any attempts to enter into romantic relationships since you lost your girlfriend?
No.
And that's an interesting way of responding. That sounds to me like not only is it no, but you don't intend to.
Well, I'm hoping I would maybe be able, but at the moment it doesn't feel like it. I have so many other much more important issues I should be dealing with. So, that one is on the back burner.
Yeah,
it's pretty toast at the moment.
Yeah. Just don't keep it on the back burner for too long. I've just understood what you mean by it being pretty toast. It's on the back burner and it's crispy. So what else is up? Work, mental health, and just the usual? Or?
Yeah. With work, it's down, it's off. Haven't been working, and mental health is down. So as they say in Biden has everything up, unemployment and all that. I have everything down. No work, no mental health. And the situation just getting worse.
Not every, that would be a lie, but so many people I've talked to are like this, and just even mid-coof, I wasn't getting this from people, but it's like people aren't happy. People aren't happy. You know, across the board almost. I'm really noticing it. You know, even on here. You know, I think 2 years ago I'd have talked to 5 or 6 people maybe, and they'd have all been positive, and doesn't seem to be the case at the moment.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, actually, things are. If you go about town, things are looking better now because it's the end of the mask hysteria, and the sun is out now. We got great weather here in Germany, except for today because there was a complete super big rainstorm. So the entire basement floor is flooded with like a centimeter of water everywhere, going from room to room. And I have been down there for like half an hour shoveling water to get it to the drain because the floor is not properly made, and it was a shit show downstairs.
And when you say basement, I'm guessing that it's actually rooms you use rather than just a place where you throw all your empty boxes. It's part of your house.
Yeah. Downstairs we have the washing room, the dryer rooms, and we have storage spaces, and there's also like a sauna and a little bar room and
hang on. So have I asked you this before? So are you in like a bachelor pad of some sort? There's a few of you.
No. I polished it a nice bit there. It's just to make you react.
There's no sauna. There's no.
There is actually a sauna, but it belongs to the land. The land and the house owner. I'm just renting an apartment in a complex. So they have.
Oh.
And it is there.
I was thinking, how can you be unhappy when you've got a sauna in the basement?
Oh, that would be so good.
It would be so good. Although I must admit, I prefer the steam rooms. I prefer the steam room. I find the saunas, well, obviously dry. You know, I like the steam.
Yeah, that's the damn Western technology that has been. When you go to a sauna in Finland, you're gonna get a proper sauna, which is a steam room basically. There's outside Finland, people don't know what a sauna is. It's just a ruined concept. Because in Finland, you would have maybe 65 to 75 degrees, maybe maximum, and then you would throw water until it gets warm enough. That's how you do it.
Yeah, that's right. I can remember a wooden bucket with like a ladle, and you pour it on the coals or whatever they are.
No, there's hot stones, yes.
Yeah. And so, but my experience, though, that I mean, I'm now very confused why there's a difference. What is a steam room then?
Probably even lower temperature, maybe only 50, 60. And so steamy you cannot even see.
That's it. Yeah, which was good because in the gym I used to go to in Soho, there were definitely people wanking in there.
Oh, fuck. Oh.
100%. More than once as well.
Why?
Yeah. Of all the places. Well, probably that's probably why, you know. They could go to a place where there were other people that couldn't see them, and they didn't realize that. You know,
they got a kick out of that part.
Suddenly makes sense, doesn't it? Well, I don't know if that's the right thing.
It doesn't make sense, but okay for them. For them, maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So if you were to lose your job or become unemployed, what would that mean to you? Would that mean going back and parents, or what would happen to you?
Nah, I'm not much of a going back. I'm more of a going forward guy. So
yeah, but I would. If I run out of money, I would wash up back at my mother's like I have many times. I don't know. I would try and, you know, I've already got a few ideas for commercial YouTube projects that I'd get busy with, you know, actual, you know, not saying that this is an actual YouTube channel, but one where you know, go for it professionally, try and do it as a full-time job. That's probably what I'd do.
Right.
But that's still a bit hit and miss. And if that failed, maybe I could get some freelance marketing work. But
yeah,
You know.
Yeah, if I lose the job here, yeah. Yeah, for me, looking for a job in Germany, it would be much harder than in Sweden, probably, because my language skills is still not nowhere near fluent enough to do actual 100% work in Germany.
But surely someone who can speak proficiently English and Swedish, I obviously don't know your German level, isn't there, you know, that surely that's got that there's skills that can be utilized in certain jobs, you know.
Yeah, if you have really large working environments, they usually are a bit more friendly to international workers.
Right.
But if you have any smaller firms, they would require you to speak fluent German.
Okay.
Yeah, and the company I work for now is borderline. They do accept some non-German speakers for some positions. Yeah, and I'm in one of those positions at the moment. So,
how long have you been in Germany now?
Oh, 6 years now.
And do you intend? Is that where you intend to stay? Are you building a life in Germany, or are you gonna
at the moment it's really yeah. I'm trying to move forward in Germany, but it's yeah. Again, I got so many issues that. I'm just here, and I'm trying to deal with it at the moment. so I'm not growing fonder. I'm not getting any roots here really. Very few friends. Definitely no friends I see regularly. No. Only work colleagues that I see on and off when I need some help or for some other odd reasons. Yeah, they come by.
Why is that? Why is that the situation, do you think?
Well, I'm no fun to be around, really. It's
what are you talking about? I love it when you come on here. You're great company.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Well, I don't feel like I have anything to contribute, really. It's well, basically, I feel like everything I'm doing at the moment is just one big embarrassment until I get myself sorted. So that's it.
Why would you think you had nothing to offer?
Yeah, well, if I would do some work, I would be offering something, and that would make me feel better. But at the moment,
But that doesn't define you, does it? You know, your
work
does.
It's one of the legs. Without it, who are you? I'm just here to suck the teeth of the government.
Without it, you will make friends, but you'll be sharing their tents on the street. I kind of understand that point of it.
Yeah.
So have you got any plans? Have you got some kind of, you know, I need to do A, B, or C to get to progress, or is it just
it's just putting fires out. Putting fires out. That's what I'm doing. I'm going from one mayhem paperwork pile to the next, and just trying to apply for the correct things in somewhat correct time. Usually a little bit too late. So I'm getting sued for 15,000 euros, and yes, stuff happens in my life.
Whoa! What for? What, non-payment or something?
Defamation, online defamation. I speak my mind too much.
Hang on. What is it? Well, don't get yourself in trouble more here. But what, you said something on social media and you're being sued?
Yeah.
And is it hate speech?
No, just defamation and interference with their workplace. I left a little Google review on a company here, and it didn't work out well. They immediately hired like a really super high-tech law firm that deals with these defamation cases. They really spent spent and probably getting their money's worth. Yeah. This is like one of the really big shots in Germany.
That's
has
a real stress. I really feel for you. I've got a friend, business partner, and years ago he was importing. Basically, it meant that you could copy games. I think it was for the Sega, Sonic the Hedgehog kind of days, but you could copy them. Now, although it was
make a ROM file, or
I don't know enough about it to be able to confirm it, but although it was illegal to copy them, it wasn't illegal to sell this little thing. So he was bringing them over. He made millions, literally millions. And then one day he got a letter from, I think it was Nintendo. I can't remember. One of those big
They
guns.
are fairly on the cases. Yeah. Probably.
And the letter said, we've got $90 million in our war chest. It was a cease and desist, basically. They were like, stop immediately, or we'll get our 90 million war chest engaged. And he had to finish business that day. It's all on the internet. I can't give you the details because it's not fair on him. But he was literally lowering laser photocopiers out the window of the domestic property where he was running this $10 million a year company illegally. And they're quite interesting, actually. When I talked to him about it, I mean, he's kind of sorted himself out now. He's done well with crypto and all that. But he said to me, one of the biggest problems of that business was the trash, because it was in quite a nice sort of domestic sort of apartment block, and every week everyone else would put out their 2 black bags, and he'd have like 20 black bags because all the packaging, all the wrapping, and then the landlord would be like, what is all this stuff? And of course one day he'd open it up and knock, are you running a business? And there's like 20 illegals in there just sort of wrapping up cartridges and sending them on. So
industrious.
No, he didn't lose all the money, so they didn't ask for the money. So
they were happy with just a cease and desist.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's nicer than usual, I think, for Nintendo.
I don't think he declared it all, so that's
but that's Nintendo is one problem, and then you have the government as well. Maybe that's
that must be quite
worse.
a stress for you. That's a stress, isn't it? You're being sued for 15,000. Did you say what?
Yeah,
$15,000.
15,000 euro.
So what's that, about 1,200, about 10,000 English, I'd guess.
Yeah, a little more. Yeah.
Something like that. How's that? Is that keeping you up at night?
Well, I have an out because it's basically delete and will refrain from going forward. So that's my out, to just delete it and say, "Oof, wasn't me."
Are you getting? But you're sometimes thinking, no. Is there a bit of you that
thinks, I'm only thinking no?
You're not going to do it.
I'm one of those people that latches on and no.
I respect that.
But says no.
Do you get any respect? Is that a good long-term plan? Is that going to? I mean, for your sense of self-esteem, that could actually benefit you. I mean,
let's see. How did it go for Napoleon? Well, I don't know.
That's amazing. Well, fair enough. So it's still there, is it? This comment?
Oh yeah. It's out there.
Wow, look at that little smile there. You looked quite happy then. You looked one of the happiest I've seen you. There was a little bit of you that was like...
the little devil inside.
Yeah, there was. I don't want you to get in more trouble, so I don't want to ask you too much about it, but...
It was fairly vanilla. It wasn't really harsh or anything. But in Germany, the honor, the sense of honor and your right to defend your honor in Germany is quite high. So it's in UK magazines, they can write basically whatever they want. Here in Germany, not so much. Here
is there an element of loss of earnings for them potentially, or I mean,
yeah, of
don't
course.
say anything that's going to get you in
I
trouble.
did drag their average a little bit down.
Oh, it actually had an effect, and they've got evidence of that. They can prove that. You think?
Yeah. It was visible instantly that I pulled it down from like a 4.0 to 3.8 or something.
Wow.
Yeah, so it had an effect because my review was only like one of 60 maybe, something like that. So
how many words did you write roughly?
I wouldn't know.
Well, was it like a paragraph, or was it one of those essay reviews?
It was a semi essay, yes. So probably 1,500, I would say, maybe. Just guessing. Yeah, because I just laid out what happened chronologically, and it was really no straight attack on the shop owner or anything. It was I had an odd encounter was basically the story. So it was
and you told the truth.
Yeah.
Did you expect to get any repercussions, or
no,
did you think this
no.
This is just there's an interesting lesson here, people. You know, and you're talking about a standard Google review. You go to there, you search them online, and it says, you know, look at reviews, and because I write reviews all the time, and some of them aren't too pleasant.
Yeah, and it wasn't even 1 star. I gave them 2 stars because well, they didn't outright hurt me in like a physical way. It wasn't really like that. Of course, emotionally, it was a bit draining to be experiencing that. Of course, because it was such an odd encounter. And normally, you do say that in Germany, people are a little blunt compared to America, especially America. Compared to the England, Germans are probably a bit blunt, a bit direct, to the point. So in that regard, maybe this can be expected in Germany. I don't know. It's just that from this particular venue, it was unexpected for me to experience this. That's why I wrote it, because I was surprised and frankly shocked and a bit hurt.
Did they notify you by email or letter or?
Yeah, it started with Google sending a little say, so hey, dear reviewer, we have gotten this complaint from this law firm saying that, boy, you've been doing some lying online, and besides that, the store does not even recognize who you are. You are probably just a troll or something who thought it would be fun to wreck the reputation of my client. That was the opening salvo, and similar cases going to court. We are looking forward to about 15,000 euro, and then they cited case law, and then they cited actual cases, but of course those cases were really, really more clear cut. In those reviews that he was citing in court, there was some actual malice in those. Whereas I really didn't. I let the reader do the judging. I just mentioned what happened, basically word for word and event by event, and it was.
I feel really naive because there's no terms of service kind of visible on those Google reviews, and sometimes I just, the English expression is "cunt someone off." I'll just say, fucking horrible, shithole. I won't be doing that again.
Yeah, you have to look for the how to behave on these reviews. There are actually guidelines, but these are not these are not tick boxes when you do the review. They just accept it wholesale, and if you want to have the lowdown on how you're supposed to do it, it's in the fine print.
Have you have you considered the consequences of the two options you've got? I mean, well, there's three options, isn't there? Leave it there, take it away, or fight it in court. I suppose they're your options.
No, leaving it there equals, so far, probably going to court.
And have you got can you afford, or will you get given legal assistance?
No, my legal assistance
No.
for these kind of civil suits. You don't. It's very rare you get any kind of legal assistance money-wise. You do have a home insurance that do provide some. You have two insurances that can cover legal issues, and one of them is you have like a personal insurance in Germany, because again, whatever you do in Germany, you're responsible. So, like United States, if you hurt someone, let's say you are drunk as fuck and you go into the roadway and some car swerves, drives into a house and sets the house on fire.
Yeah.
They're coming after you for that. You will have to be paying for the new house, for the hospital bills, for the children that burn inside, and you are personally responsible for everything you do. And there is no like it was an accident. No, you caused this accident, and then it's upon you. So you have a personal insurance that covers some legal aid, but usually just for accidents that you cause yourself. This is no accident. This was purposefully, and it was also malicious. And
wouldn't all this go away if you just deleted it?
Yeah. If I just click delete, then the law firm will say, they say in the text that if he just deletes the text, we will stand down. So that's my final out. Yeah. In case
is there really a time? Is there a time limit on that though?
Yeah.
Because
end of May.
Reviews up. Oh, end of May. So. And you don't know, you're still considering it, or have you got your fixed decision?
Well, I haven't considered taking it down yet, no. So at the moment, I'm on that bone. I'm on that bone.
I kind of respect that, but at the same time, do you really need that added pressure? And also ask yourself, ask yourself that I've seen people get into legal wrangles that even if they were to win, they don't get much. It's not like it's a Pyrrhic victory. You've won, but there's no money in it for you. Now I understand there's a sense of integrity. That's what happened. But, this could be one less problem. So I'm not giving you advice. I'm just
of course it would be probably wise to just drop it and just move on,
which is difficult as well, because that kind of tells you where you are in the pecking order, and that's not pleasant.
It really ticks me off, because I can see that because I don't know if I tipped the scale or added the final straw that broke the camel's back, because they are attacking every negative review now. Every negative review is getting the same treatment as I'm getting. So
when you say every negative review, do you mean every negative review from this company, or okay
so I'm seeing they are all just disappearing, these negative reviews, and her score is just creeping up.
Okay, that's interesting.
And that makes me
Yeah. No,
no, my bone is looking juicier and juicier every minute.
I mean, there's so many of these review sites now, not even just Google, but things like Trustpilot, Social Blade, not Social Blade, I can't remember what it's called at the moment. There's a few of them.
Yeah.
Now, some of them, my business doesn't get a right to reply unless I sign up and pay to have an account.
Okay.
Not only that, the people that leave the reviews don't have to have proof of purchase.
Right.
So people who just take a disliking can just go on there. You know, I've got like 12 email accounts that I've had built up over the years. In theory, I could go on there and write 12 bad reviews for a company. And unless they pay something ridiculous like $100 a month to have an account, they can't. It's shocking. It's an unfair system.
Yeah, sure. It's maybe a proof of purchase or some kind of level of engagement should be required to maybe leave a review everywhere. But for Google review, like I said, there is no bar of entry. Just find
but the Google review is different because they don't need to pay. They could have just responded. Whereas with these private companies, they don't get that opportunity. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I've been really taking screenshots daily on the activity, keeping track of what they're doing.
Don't let this whole thing become an obsession.
Oh, it is already. It's too late. It's mine.
Well, no, it isn't too late because you know I've seen this kind of thing kill people, and I mean that because the obsession came first. Well, the problem came first, then the obsession, then the isolation from society, then not working so well because they're obsessed with this little thing that's now become their life. Friends not talking to them, then they hit the drink, I know who I'm talking about in the head. Then he drunk himself to death. You know, this happened over a few years. So be careful. You know, you're an intelligent bloke, and
the
problem with obsessions are they actually serve a purpose. They give you a sense of meaning, which is attractive. You know, it's addictive.
Yeah.
You know,
because you feel if you latch on to things that are moving forward, you feel this is moving forward, and it's like an easy tag along. All I need to do is spend a few hours every evening tracking the changes, and then I'm on top of this. But I should be on top of other stuff, really.
There you go. And 3 hours an evening after work is probably half of your evening every night.
Yeah, but the work thing, it's not happening anyway. So
lovely to talk to you, Pax Max. Good luck with that. On
that
the 29th.
Come on.
Sorry, Botch. On the 29th of May, I'm going to email you. Look after yourself, mate. Lovely to talk to you. When I finally get round to the private streams, I'm sure we'll talk again. But I'm going to put a date in my calendar, and I'm going to hit you up before the end of May, and then I am going to give you some advice. Lovely to talk to you, mate.
It's a date, all right?
There you go. That'd be cool. Me, you, and Mrs. Paxmax. Mrs. Paxmax. Mrs. Packer. Take care, my friend.
That's going to be a rough dig if you.
Take care. Ta-ta. You're back. Sorry, I cut you. Come back. No, come back. You were still talking.
I just say goodbye, I think.
Yeah, but I cut you out. Do you want to say it again?
No, I don't know. I don't remember.
So just say goodbye.
Well, just say goodbye.
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 I have for you the same. Well, what an incredible place we have here. I mean, look at the different people we spoke to today and the things they've got in their lives and what comprises their, you know, what are they doing? Where are they? You know, it's And we even had a rando come in and make some jokes that stoned people probably found funny. And that's all right. I'm all right for people, stoners, laughing, you know. Better than sitting around talking about being stoned, which is really what stoners do. They talk about being stoned. So I hope we gave them some laughs. People, I've been going for 2.5 hours. The grift has been acceptable, but it's now gone 2 o'clock in the morning. I want a couple of hours to myself. Let's grab some music. Let's grab some music. Rags, are you in here, or have you done the off? Let me know if Rags is in here. If Rags is in here, I know what I'm going to play. If Rags isn't here. Joshua says, I'd have burnt the business down for suing me for sharing my opinion. Don't say things like that. When they read that out to you in court in 5 years' time, you'll be like, I didn't say that. Rags is here. I'm going to play Milk, a peculiar song. And if anyone says auto-tune to me, yes, we did use auto-tune. We wanted to use auto-tune, and we turned it up full so that it's obviously auto-tune. We weren't trying to auto-tune my voice. We were trying to voice my auto-tune. Thanks to everyone who donated. Thanks to Rags and Steve for looking after the place. We will get on with some memes and clips. I just haven't got the internet or processing power to successfully do that. And there's only so many of those streams that I sit there going, oh, fucking hell, I can't, you know, fiddling around with tech is so dull. And thanks to everyone who came on. It was very interesting as ever. Donation came through there. Packer dropped £3 into Entropy. He said, cheers, Chris. See you all later. Scrubs. Nice one, Packer. Muchano Kaprasha Nuna. Cheers, Frenchie. I think I've done your one already. This is Milk. I'll see you lot tomorrow. I'll try and get a meme stream sorted out. It's a question of work, internet. Like, I've had no internet for half of today, so there you go. This is Milk. Try and listen to the lyrics. They're absurd. Let me just make sure I've got the audio on. I've had an absolute pleasure. Ta-ta, everyone. Vart Jambo. Thursday, £5 for Danger. Happy birthday for the other week. Hoita. Nice one, Jambro. Appreciate tutti. Here we go. Don't forget, if anyone here isn't on my Substack, link in the description. Totally free. 16 short stories on there, and they're absolutely cracking. Yeah, Will Self said so as well. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you again tomorrow. Ta-ta. Can you hear it?
Expand lies, bang bangs about us. Be up, be younger, good to serve now life. But last, the final sweet land, final surround us. Still knee deep and wet, knee deep and wet. Carbon encrusted, mercenary trusted, a thousand invites from Tangier to Metals. A lot longing, forgotten, infested. A bleak solid air between us tested. The alleyway laughs at time and half. Time and half. Splash, you can't come down now. You wouldn't want to. Spy secret, immediate, amoeba, hilarious. Sheen means the sun stops whining. Thatched roofs, the holes of many spiders. Smile so wide, we look inside her. The need for me. The need for me. The need for me. The archer bends bows, pulls strings, pulling things to mark time, arbitrary, sublime, weak of random swine. Best leave now, dear bees above the historical rub. This newfound embalming, new farming goal. This winter shade of hazy or brown knackers me. A girl I once knew nothing. A rupture suggests we better be as nothing so less than outburst in slow devotion. Slow devotion. As old rock dissolves, a shining example of love, Chrissy, and the need for milk. The need for milk. The need for milk. Of chemical shoals and all sure withdrawals, sensitive, get it, flipping, slip you get it, working, nothing but the need for milk. The need for milk. Send me for elastic, I'm fantastic. I got geometry, it's pretty drastic. Coochie tiger, where can I hide ya? Your roar's too loud, mate, they're gonna find ya. And aesthetic again. Yeah, you're looking pretty rough, son, your life's coming undone. Everywhere you go, you seem to know someone. I wanna change my life, mum, I don't know what's going on. I pick up all the pieces, fall, and then I drop them. And aesthetic again. And I am here now and then. Cause absence is everything. Yeah, and aesthetic. Yeah. Again. This is the next line, I wrote it when I felt fine. Now it's pointless, that's the effect of time. How did I get it there? Whisper it in my ear, I don't know myself, at least I ain't got my health. And aesthetic again.
Classic, Rag.
And I am here now and then. Cause absence is everything. And aesthetic, yeah. Again.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Take care, everyone. I'll probably see you tomorrow. Internet depending. Oi! Oh, you cheeky bastard. Rags, did you get back to me about going to the hospital today? Go on then, Anglo. Go on. I'm quite easily pressured into listening to New Shoes. I was playing it on my guitar earlier, actually. If any of you want to play it, it's quite easy. You have to fuck about a bit, but you can just start here. C. So what is it? What's the fucking first line? How does it start? up to there. The guitar's out of tune, but it's just a C and then slide it up. I think it's a 12th. Up and down, up and down. That's all you have to do. But I can't remember how it goes. So that doesn't help. Nice one, Anglo. Here you go. I am essentially just a prostitute, but, you know, some of the nicest people I've ever met have been whores. Where is it? What are we playing? No shoes. Bloody hell. Maybe it's been worn out. Can you see it? They've got rid of it because it was too cool. There you go. Hang on. Make sure we've got audio. This is New Shoes. It's very 90s. Vocalist sounds a bit like me. Ta-ta. All right, Rags. Nice one, mate. See you later, Twitch Massive, CM Skunked and Jays. I saw you both there. I'm not going to be putting messages on the screen because my eyes are itching now, so I need to turn away a bit. Ah, bollocks. I'm stupid, I'm lazy, but in the discotheque I still look crazy. Love me, baby, I only tell lies cause the truth escapes. Summertime, we can get new shoes. I'll have brown and you can get the blues. I'm knackered, I'm fading, but in the right light I still look vaguely human. Happy it won't be long before we cave in. Summertime, we can get new shoes. I'll have brown and you can get the blues. You can get the blues. Don't worry about my heroin addiction, it's only slight. I need you, love me, and I feel the same again tonight. Summertime, we can get new shoes. I'll have brown and you can get the blues. 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 And there you go. Now go on, go and play down your own end before I give you a clip round the ear. Hoit!